Hello there, and welcome back to the SWTVC show live right here on YouTube, the live stream home of the SWTVC crew and the ongoing push for the existence, expansion, and success of the heritage scale of Star Wars collecting. I'm Evan, or as you may know me on Instagram at Mile High Ground. I would say I'm your host, but I'm really just the dude who talks first before the real adults start talking. Thank you for joining us on a Friday night. And for those of you with social lives, thanks for catching the replay later. If you're listening to this via your favorite audio podcast provider, be sure to hop on over to @SWTVC on Instagram to see some visuals that we'll be presenting throughout the night. Boy, it is hard to believe that we are already at the end of 2025. The twin suns are setting on our return to Tatooine. Our eyes are turned to the now upcoming Battle of Geonosis, and it seems like just yesterday we were all panicking about whether or not we'd be home for Christmas to accept the 50-pound ghosts that were being dropped off. It was a year of anniversaries, of growth, and even some excitement. To help me go over it all, I am joined today by some folks that are near and dear to my heart. First up, we've got the Vintage Concepts himself, the man whose signature impression is more relevant today than ever. It is John. How you doing, man?
I got to get it out of the way. How you doing? How you doing?
Oh, so good. So good. Oh, man. I can't wait to hear that multiple times throughout the night. And I'm sure everybody watching knows why, but just in case they don't, it's going to be fun. We'll talk about that in a minute. Next up, a year in review wouldn't be the same without another signature soundbite. Size. It is Tyler. What's up, dude?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm very excited for this stream. Very excited.
Yes.
This is one of my favorites every year. So super excited to dive in.
Heck yeah. We do have a bunch of stuff lined up. We'll see how much ground we end up covering. Pretty excited. Lastly, joining us tonight, he's pretty much ingrained in the SWTVC family at this point. You know him, you love him. It is Toys Are the Way. What's up, dude?
What's up? As they say in the Star Wars universe, hello there.
How have you been?
I've been all right, man. I've been kind of hanging in there, dealing with some stuff, but it's nice to get on live with you guys and talk about my favorite hobby in the world, which is collecting small plastic.
Yes.
It's always fun to try to explain that to other people in your real life. You know, they're like, what do you like to do? And it's just like, I don't know if I should tell you.
I'll send you a stream. You can hear about it for 3 hours.
Yeah. You can see my illness on full display. But yeah, so that's us. We're here tonight, but we're not alone. We've got folks watching. So let's go ahead and say hello to the chat real quick. I see we've got Riley Bob has already jumped in. Evening, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hell of a week of reveals. March Madness is going to look awfully different this year. How are we feeling with Brandon in the 2026 team? I have a feeling we'll probably be covering quite a bit of that throughout this stream, but spoiler alert, feeling okay about some stuff. So,
For my part, I love Brandon already. He's captured my heart very quickly. I think he's a fantastic addition to the brand team. I think we're very lucky to have him, and also, Chris and Steve as well. I think we're in very good hands despite the loss of Emily, which initially seems like a sledgehammer to the community, but I think we're gonna pick it up in stride, and we're gonna be all right. We're in good hands. So.
We still have about a year of her.
Just real quick before we go any
stream,
further, for some reason I can't hear John. I can hear everyone else but John.
Weird.
Do you have me muted or something, John?
I can hear John.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, it's always something.
It's going great.
All right,
It
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
be an
back out,
SWTVC
and
show without Tyler having technical difficulties.
I don't understand. I'm gonna back out and I'll be right
Hop
back.
out, hop back in. We'll keep saying hello to the chat real quick. I see Findor Moon is here. What's up, dude?
What's up, Finn?
Ben.
I know we've got matching sweatshirts now. The My Villain Origin Story. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive. Bring me Ben Solo. Let's do this. Let's see. Tanith is here. Got a bunch of folks here tonight.
Hello.
Let's see. Trauma Man, what's up, dude? Thanks for doing all the Reddit stuff still. And Camptono Collectibles. Tops 375. All right. Well, let's see. I was not back yet.
Let me see. Holland1 says, why does John always remind me of the Hoth Rebel Commander? By the way, we don't have a modern version of that character. There's still a few good mustaches that we got to get updated to finish the 96.
Let's see. Will this work? Let's add Tyler back into the stream.
There we go. Let's see.
Welcome back, Tyler.
John,
Wow,
just
can-
say, okay.
Can
all
you
right,
hear
we're
me?
good.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
All right.
There we go.
While I'm talking, I'll say, usually we do mail call right about now, but basically everything has shipped. And we've already talked about it. Unless you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about?
I
Tyler,
just want to
probably.
share one little thing,
All right.
and it's this Padme's
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
tomb sarcophagus thing from, I don't know why the lid's sticking right now. Anyway, the lid's supposed to come off. I don't know why it's sticking right now. Anyway, you can get this from Bill with what is it? 272
2795 something like that.
I can't
Oh,
remember
it's
his
two-
at
is
right
Yeah,
now.
Studios.
Yeah.
All right, we'll find it.
2797. Yeah, Bill.
Yeah.
He gave. I got the Acolyte Noodle Shop diorama from him, and it was awesome.
I'm going to share this to my story again after the stream. I can't remember his at right now. It was originally designed by I think Centerpoint Studios, and Bill is selling them. They're unpainted, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure out how to paint this and do it justice. But these are a limited run, and this is TVC scale. They do make them for the heretic scale, excuse me, the 6-inch scale as well, if you're interested. So I just wanted to shout that out.
Does the
He's
top
got a
come
few
off?
of these left. Yeah, I don't. Why
Can you
is
put a
it
corpse
sticking?
in there?
Yeah, you can. I don't know why. It's kind of weird, but like you can't. I don't know why it's sticking
Yeah.
right now, but you can take the top off.
Right on.
Anyway, just wanted to share that.
That's awesome, dude. I love that.
I do have
Just,
something I could share too.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see it.
It'll probably enrage people
Uh-oh.
because it's another Mando.
Yeah.
Different. John, you might like
yes.
this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
I'm
we've
gonna guess
never
what it
actually
is.
had Mando
Yes.
from season 1
Yes.
without the Mudhorn insignia and the proper like legs. And these are like the ball jointed Imperial base one. I just modded the heck out of it. The only
Nice.
thing I really had to do that was kind of annoying was I opted not to like cut this leg in half to have like the upper pant missing like shin armor. So I just shaved it off with like an X-Acto, and I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, I used that on that recent shot that I did for that cantina entrance like scene.
Awesome. Did
Yeah.
you take the upper right arm from the blurg version?
No, I
Tyler?
actually had because I bought like several of the Mauto Kree sets, so I just took it off of this arm and swapped it on one
Okay,
from like an
nice.
extra one that I
Smart.
had.
Smart.
Yep.
See, that is
Yeah.
something that I want. That is something that I want to see in the line. So nicely done. I might have to
I
follow
knew
your
you would like
recipe.
this. I knew you would
Yes.
like this.
Everybody else is mandoed out. I'm saying we don't have the main look from the first season of the show still.
He only has that stinking thing on his
For
arm.
5
in the-
minutes.
5 minutes of the last episode.
Yep.
Oh,
One day we'll
man.
get there. One day we'll get there. So we
One
need
day.
more
I want to
mandos.
share
Clearly.
one last thing before we have so much to discuss, and I just don't want to forget this. Darth Xander, I'm not sure if he's in the chat, but Darth Xander, who runs the Vintage Collection Discord channel, where there's so much great discussions about Vintage Collection. There's also a subcategory for Black Series, if that's your thing too. There's a section for customs and like HasLab discussions, last figure standing discussions. I'm sure there's going to be a March Madness one too. There's so many like subcategories in there. That's probably not the right word. I'm not spun up, kids. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're doing fine.
but,
You're doing fine.
Threads, I guess you could say. Whatever. I know that's a whole nother platform that I'm not getting. I'm not getting any more platforms. I'm done. All right. Yeah, join the Discord. If you need the link, I'm happy to provide it. I will also put that up in my story. And it's a great little community over there that we're trying to grow. So please, if you have Discord or if you're interested in joining Discord, head over there and join the little community over there and let's build that up. So, okay, I'm done.
Sweet. Yeah, I need to get more involved over there. I have Discord. I open up every once in a while, usually just to, like, get stuff from Disneyland. If something is hard to get online, you can get folks at the Galaxy's Edge Discord to do stuff. So it's nice to have a Vintage Collection corner there. Yeah. So
And yes, Riley Bob is correct. It's very, very active. So
heck Heck yeah.
Somebody's always talking over there. So
That's what I need, more chats to keep up with about
yeah,
this.
Yeah,
I know. I get it.
But if you love it, more power to you. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of being active, Hasbro was pretty active the last couple of weeks. They've done a couple things. So what was it? CCXP. That was on
yes.
Thursday, December 4th. John.
Yes, finally, we are closing out the Revenge of the Sith anniversary year with some product from it. We thought we weren't going to get any, but we at least got some reveals. The first Revenge of the Sith cards in TVC since 2019. It's a beautiful Walmart exclusive 2-pack. Starting off with, Evan, do you have it up? Let's just show it to the people.
Perfect.
It's a beautiful thing. Look, we're going to start with the clone because Evan has a lot to say about Obi-Wan, as he should. So let's talk about, real quick, VC399 clone airborne trooper from the 212th Legion. This is the first airborne trooper sculpt since 2007. It uses the most recent clone trooper sculpt, but adds a new helmet, a new left bicep and shoulder piece, chest straps, belt, and a skirt. I think that's it. But we're not going to go down a full tooling rabbit hole with the clones right now. But some of these pieces can be used for other troopers. I know Commander Bakara can use the skirt, and at least some parts of the strap. He's got like an extra shoulder piece. Purge troopers can at least use the helmet. Some other clones will need this belt plus dual holsters, like the 327th. And the 212th is the only airborne trooper that we see in Revenge of the Sith. But back in the day, Hasbro repainted the crap out of this guy for other legions. And maybe they could do the same here. I would like to see the Purge Trooper again with this helmet, but yeah, it looks pretty awesome. What do you think about this guy individually? We'll talk about the whole set in a second. Yeah.
I want to see a 4-pack of all 4 Purge Trooper classes
Yes.
using this helmet and the comma pieces. And I know like one of the Purge Troopers who has like the dual batons, he doesn't have a comma. But 2 or 3 out of the 4 classes do. So
I never got around to making that custom, but I was gonna like pop the head from our Purge Trooper on an extra waxer. So definitely
I got
excited.
Customs of them made from a buddy of mine, AOS.customs. He's really good. Check him out on Instagram. But I'd like to get some official ones from Hasbro, especially on the new sculpt.
For sure.
Because they were skinny.
Yeah.
I hadn't even considered a Purge Trooper 4-pack. That's a good shout, man. I like that.
Yes.
Do it, Hasbro.
Also, I would
so much money.
One thing people took issue with this, and we'll talk about repacks later, obviously. But I want to army build this guy. They even shouted you out, Tyler, last week on Bosk Bounty's live stream of like people. Some people want hundreds of this guy. So obviously they can, now that we have this tooling and it was brought to us, through this Walmart 2-pack, they can repack it, they can repaint it. Because I want more than just one of the airborne trooper. But yeah,
for sure. I mean, I don't, since it is a Walmart exclusive, I don't know if they're going to limit how many you can order. I'm planning on getting probably 3 or 4 of them initially. And they're lucky that Obi-Wan's a really nice figure that I don't mind owning more than one of. But yeah, I'd like to see this available. And, I mean, we're going to get to it soon, but just like they just, repacked the Commander, get that guy back out there on his own somehow, or I don't know. I don't want to say stick him in a 4-pack because that'd probably piss somebody off, but figure it out, Hasbro. Get him back out there so we can army build him. So
and at least he's already coming carded, so I wouldn't mind a 4-pack now that we got the card.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Obi-Wan real quick?
Absolutely.
And then more extensively in a second. But VC398, hello there, Obi-Wan Kenobi Utapau. This is the first, it reuses the hips and the thighs, but other than that, it's the first new Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan sculpt since 2005, since shortly after the movie came out. And yes, it was upgraded a little bit here and there, but this is almost completely new. Last year in Last Figure Standing, he was number 11. This year, he just missed the top 12 at number 13. And then in March Madness last year, he was number 27. And this past year, he was number 19. So he's been hovering up there. He's a highly desired figure by the community. I think especially helped after Anakin reappeared in the Ahsoka series, and we got the episode 3/Ahsoka version. Anyway,
I'm excited to retire this custom that I had to make. Sorry, I don't know if I switched to my solo view. It's the Saga Legends body, just because it didn't have swivel hips. It had like what are those joints called? I don't know, whatever. The legs could move. But yeah, it's the 2020 photoreal version of the Clone Wars head sculpt and an OT Customs cape. Happy to retire that soon. Didn't think I'd get to for quite some time.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and then some of these images, I don't know if you pulled any images from the
I
booth at
didn't. I
CCXP.
didn't
Okay.
grab anything with the card backs.
But you can see, the card backs and the some of the in-hand images. They look like these are clearly the prototypes, like painted faces, and the other ones are like further along in the production pipeline. So it's like the flesh cast in flesh color for the faces and stuff, and with photoreal deco. But yeah, I see people in the comments pointing out, yes, more Jedi, more force push hands. Obi-Wan's got a force push hand. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. I think we were kind of expecting if they were going to do, we wanted, a lot of newness here, but, I think we were prepared to be disappointed with a lot of Jedi Legend tooling or something, but.
Yeah, I'm quite happy. And speaking of Jedi tooling.
Yes.
Should we do
However,
it?
should we talk about the knees? Should we talk about the knees real quick?
Let's do it. I saw Maxibius mention, those legs, boots, what are those?
What are those?
That is a great question. What are those indeed? That is bad. And we kind of figured it was maybe early prototype, but this figure, what looked like a production sample, more final version of the figure was featured on that live stream yesterday. And it looks like the boot problems persist where the joint is cut into the front of the boots, rendering it inaccurate. And also it just looks short and stumpy again. They keep doing this to our boy Obi-Wan. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. It looks like they just added a couple, just a little more, a couple millimeters to the top of that to put the joint in there. I posted a joke in my Instagram story of, where Hasbro thinks Obi-Wan's knees are, and it's, a little too low. So that is something that, since this appears to be final, I would love to see them take a crack at fixing that, because as we said earlier with the Airborne, now that these things exist, there's ways to, they don't have to conjure things from nothing. They have a starting point for a lot of cool stuff. So.
Yeah. And I'm looking at not the first Thrawn mentioned. I thought it'd be Tyler, but it's me. But the Thrawn, like his boots, Imperial officer boots, they're still able to do knee-high boots without, having a cut into the boots.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a very strange, inexplicable thing.
It's a really weird choice. Aesthetically, I just don't know why you would engineer the hinge.
Of course, they got one
to be down
handy
there.
somewhere.
Yes.
And you can see, and on the stream, like Obi-Wan next to the Airborne Trooper on the table, he looks a little short. Too. So it just seems like they screwed up on the digital sculpt for the lower legs and just shaved material out. It's like, it's almost there, but should I get into the tooling?
Let's do it. Let's do it. So
Go in.
All right.
Let them cook.
Let's see. All right. So that means we're just going to do a really short one. We did one for Anakin. It's time for a little mini Looney Tunics here. So hot off the, I didn't put my notes in, so I'm just going from the hip on this one. Hot off of the knee discussion for Obi-Wan, I just want to start this off with, great, we've got the starting point in this Obi-Wan. So what could they do from here? Well, here's a perfect opportunity for them to fix those legs by doing a Clone Wars seasons 3 through 6 version. All they'd need to tool up would be some forearms. I put hands on here, but they could technically use the Clone Trooper hands, right?
Yeah.
From the modern, the current Clone Trooper sculpt. And they could keep using those upper legs if they want to. They're the Ben Kenobi A New Hope upper legs that have, I don't know why they're so fascinated with this sculpting the saggy front of knees, but whatever. If they just did the lower legs, added a little more material above the boot and hid the joint in where the knee actually should be, I think there you go. And tool up some new forearms. Then that way too, you have more lower leg pieces and options for more generic Jedi. You could use these kind of botched Revenge of the Sith legs on some, more tertiary, secondary Jedi that have maybe longer tunic skirts that hide that, so it's not as obvious. I don't know, just throwing some ideas out there. That would also lead to, you wanted to do Obi-Wan Kenobi from the earlier Clone Wars seasons. We've got a really nice updated Anakin. It'd be nice to have Obi-Wan to go with him now. The one that we have is a personal favorite figure of mine, but not necessarily because it's an exciting modern definitive figure. The Obi-Wan it's from 2012 at this point, 2011.
12.
It's
You like
showing
it because it's Obi-Wan.
I like it because it's Obi-Wan, but it is in dire need of an update for such an action-packed character. This one would also have a lot of reuse. The head, the lightsaber, the head and the lightsaber from the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. Then it could reuse the new hands or forearms from that proposed later seasons Clone Wars Obi-Wan I just pitched. And then use the lower legs and feet and the upper arms from the existing clone trooper that we have. So it's an idea there. The new things they need to tool up for that would be torso, hips and thighs, and maybe a skirt. So
Yes.
Or not necessarily tooled if they wanted to do soft goods on that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And
So-
he has a lot more clone armor than like Anakin does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can reuse a lot of that clone.
Yeah. So these aren't really large jumps to get these really cool looks of this character. And it's a way for them to solve that boot issue on that first one. This also means they could do this. And sorry, I had to use a sideshow figure as reference, but Obi-Wan in his Mandalorian disguise, they now have all the pieces to make it. They don't need to do anything else. It's the entire VC-243 Mandalorian Super Commando body with this new Obi-Wan head and lightsaber. The blasters and the jetpacks exist. The swappable helmeted head exists. It's all there. This is one that they have no excuse to not do. So that's just me.
Well, the only
and it's
thing
awesome.
I could potentially see is, what if the Revenge of the Sith head does not, isn't quite in scale with the body, and so it looks like a pea head or the head's too big. That's the only problem with swapping around heads sometimes, is that they don't quite match right.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. We'll have to see when we get the figure in hand. But if there is truly no issues, then they should just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think
I'm sure
the
it'd be
biggest
fine.
hurdle I could foresee is if maybe the barbell that they attach the head to the body with, if that's a different size, maybe if it's possible for them to engineer one that fits on one end into the Mandalorian body and on the other end into the Obi-Wan neck. I don't know. It's right there. It's right there for them. So
Yeah.
It's an easy
I really
one.
want to see that one.
yeah, it's so cool, man. And again, Mandalorian armor, Jedi, whatever.
More Clone
next-
Wars.
Yes. Speaking of Clone Wars, the outbreak of the Clone Wars, we're about to enter the Battle of Geonosis here in 2026. So I think first thoughts for folks when they saw this new Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan would have been like, oh, great. Now you can do episodes 1 and 2 Obi-Wan. Yes.
Actually, no.
But yeah, the cut of his neckline is a little bit different. It would have been interesting if Hasbro had done what they did with the Jedi Spirits Anakin. That was such a clever bit of tooling with the swappable neckline. If they had tooled up Obi-Wan's torso that way, infinite possibilities, so you can change the necklines as needed. Alas, it doesn't appear they did for this Obi-Wan. So they'd have to tool up a new torso. They'd have to tool up a new head, or if the hair's a separate piece, maybe new hair. But it could look a little wonky since it's longer hair, and I don't know if it would fit in the same way on the existing face sculpt. I don't know how that all works. So I just put head on here to be safe. They need to tool up new lower legs and feet and a new lightsaber and the skirt. But they could reuse the arms, the hands, the hips and the thighs, and the robe. So that exists. And then if they did make Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan, the costume is exactly the same for the Phantom Menace. So there's two figures right there. They would just need a new head for that version of the character.
Excellent.
We're basically right there.
Yeah.
Right
Real
there.
quick, regarding the robe, I gotta be honest. I'm not really liking the new robes that they've been putting out. And the reason is because they've been pinning down the hoods,
Mhm.
which I find problematic, especially on Ben Kenobi,
Yes.
because so much of the movie he's got his hood up and it's like a differently shaped kind of pointier hood. He has it up the entire time he's fighting Vader. He has it up when he first meets Luke.
And in the land speeder.
And in the land, it's a function that he needs to be able to have. And maybe they're going to put out a second one on the alt card and give him a completely different robe where the hood can go up. Maybe.
Yeah.
But the other thing I don't like about it is they have this like really wide sort of open, like
It
these
flares
flaps
way
on
too
the side.
much.
Yeah, and they look like retro figures almost, like the original
I see.
Kenner vinyl robes, and I don't like that. I got to be honest, they don't look good.
They
They were doing the robes better like a decade ago, and I don't know why the new cut is a thing, but I don't like it. I got to be honest with you, I don't like it.
I liked the ones for Master Soul and Indara's turned out pretty good.
I agree.
I think it really does just look like they could stand to maybe be a little more creative and just trim a little bit of that material. So it may taper a little bit, but the optical illusion would kind of, hide that taper, so it would look like it's resting correctly.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, Tyler. I like them, but I totally get what
it.
you're
Like,
saying.
I understand soft goods have always been challenging at this scale, and like the Vaders, they pack in these capes, and there's like, a billion yards of material, and there's like, it's always a struggle, and there's the cost balancing thing. I was like, all right, well, how detailed can we make the soft goods at this scale before it becomes, cost inefficient? And I understand. I'm just saying, I think the robes need, the cut on the robes need to be reviewed because I think it needs some alterations.
Let me ask you this. I think I saw a while back you had commented at Brandon because Black Series is getting those wired capes, and you were like, TVC wired capes when?
Yeah. I mean, I do want wired ones. I don't know. It's a simple wire, but I mean, I don't know how much it costs to sew that in.
I would
All of
personally
these
pay
things have to be
a little bit of a
no,
premium
I
price
would
for
too. I think it might have to be something for like deluxe figures.
that. Yeah.
The new,
I
the new
don't
Black
know.
Series
I
Darth
don't know how
Vader.
it breaks down.
The new
Yep.
Vader with the wired cape and Black Series has a big old tag that you got to put on there. I don't know if it like makes it a piece of clothing now. But back to
the
this.
inclusion of the wire must be some kind of like safety thing for children or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. But
So I'm sorry, John.
We talked to Obi-Wan real quick.
Yeah.
Other than the robe. So yes, the sets. Thank you for doing the Looney Tunics, Evan, first of all. So those are all great ideas we can get out very soon.
Let me just
Hasbro.
say one thing before you go on the set.
Yes.
The long and short of it all is Hasbro, if you ever see this, hear this, or whatever, fix those Obi-Wan legs, those lower legs. Fix that for any future Revenge of the Sith style Obi-Wan. Fix that. Do not use these legs again. Do not do it for Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. Go ahead and use it on background or Jedi as needed or whatever, or ones with longer robes or tunics. Go for it. Do not do it. And also, never use the Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan legs ever again for the same reason. That's it. That's my little spiel there. Those are unacceptable. So we're so
Poor
close.
Obi-Wan.
We're so close. We're so close.
So other than the knees and the robe, I like the set. Other than that, okay.
Over the moon overall.
But yes, and it is going up in March as part of, or around March as part of Walmart CollectorCon. I don't think we have a confirmed date yet. And beyond that, it's unclear when this will actually ship. We'll find out more around March. Tanith says, do we know what his thighs were reused from? I think, as you said, it's the A New Hope Obi-Wan, you're thinking, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So, yeah. And it's the first Walmart exclusive in years.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't outright say, but it seems like hopefully we can expect more. Usually Walmart likes to do a few exclusives around a theme. So hopefully there's more to come. We haven't seen any since the ARC Troopers, right?
Yeah.
Like
so
2 or 3 years ago, which is insane.
really nice to finally see something like that.
Yeah. And I know on the Boss Bounty stream that Brandon and Chris Reif did, they mentioned, being really impressed with Walmart's, those middle of the aisle things with the collector displays. So we'll see if that's something that ends up working out. And I think it's good to see, as TVC collectors, we've been like, where's the TVC for Walmart? And you know what? What a way to come back into the fray with this awesome Obi-Wan and Airborne Trooper set.
Indeed.
So yeah, that wasn't the only reveal since we've last talked to you guys. There was a set of reveals yesterday, correct?
It's been a long day, but yes. it
Yeah,
was yesterday.
I was going to say last week, but then it was just yesterday. So, so yeah,
So-
what was that?
There was a Hasbro Pulse Fanstream yesterday with 4. I was going to say new figures, but there were 4 figures. Let's put it that way. So first up, we'll talk about a VC393 Greedo. Kunachuta solo, not as exciting as a Pogle impression, but it gets the job done.
My clunky.
Yeah.
McClunky.
Repack of the HasLab figure. Is that too soon? I guess we can get into that in a second, but this guy's on the original Kinner card, which that card was also seen in the Kinner Colors Cantina Adventure set. So this is the first time a Greedo in his movie colors has been packed on the original Kinner card since 2006, 20 years ago in the Vintage Saga collection, which makes me feel very old for saying that was 20 years ago. But I saw some folks commenting that they're glad they didn't open their HasLab Greedo yet because now we have this one coming soon. But what about his special cup? We need that special cup. And then, for army building purposes, this is the real army you need because all the other vests were in fashion in Mos Eisley with the Rhodians in that time. Because there's one in the Cantina dressed identically to Greedo. I believe he's called Niche in the ancillary materials. And then there's 3 in the Jabba scene where Han meets Jabba, or Han talks to Jabba. So it's not a bad one to stock up on a couple to fill out your Mos Eisley displays because they kind of like to wear the same thing. So it makes sense. But I don't know. What do you guys think about? Is it too soon to get this guy out there again?
I don't think so. I'm fine with it. I want him from customs, like pop that head off, whatever.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a pretty good one to like kind of army build alien wise. It makes sense too to they do these things while it's like on the production floor. So you can expect, like I was expecting this to come soon.
Yeah, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
And it
So-
says Niche does not have a vest. I've always been confused on that. I could go either way on that fact, but yes, it doesn't look like he has a vest.
I want to talk about the putting repacks out too early more when we get to this guy, the commander.
Yeah.
Because there is a conversation to be had there, and we'll get to that. When it comes to Greedo, I mean, he's an original 96 figure. I don't think it matters for this one. I think there's an argument to be made for other certain figures. Like I said, we'll get to that. But I think for Greedo, I mean, I don't think it matters. It's an original 96er. The people who want original 96ers are going to buy it, even if it comes the day after the Cantina closes. Like they don't care, and I don't care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem. I really don't.
There's also potential some people didn't get the Cantina, and maybe they want that figure.
For sure. And even the ones that did don't want to open that because it's on a different card back, and it's got the cup and the exclusive cup, the almighty cup, just like the Yak Face cup. Nobody wants to mess with the cups, right? So
Well, and he's a speaking character. He has I'm going to say the word iconic scene with a main character. So even if you didn't get the Cantina, that's one where it's like, did we want that one locked in there? Where it makes more sense for this one than say like a Wooher or a Tonica, which may not have the same appeal outside of, the more diehard HasLab crowd.
Yeah.
and here's the thing, if people who backed the Cantina, a lot of people are going to keep that Greedo carded. And if Hasbro was too slow to put out this Greedo, then everybody would be like, where's the original 96 Greedo? Where is Greedo for my Cantina? There would be arguments on the other side of the aisle. So it's just a wash.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with it. But
Yeah.
I always want more newness, of course, but yes, this doesn't make sense to repack. And it's nice to get, because we got the figure, we got the card separately, but now we got them together.
I'm just now reading the copy on the back. I hadn't read it yet, so it made me laugh. The overzealous Rhodian Greedo fancied himself a big-time bounty hunter in Jabba the Hutt's employ, despite being a pretty poor shot with a blaster. It's good.
Until you see the original version.
I like it.
Yeah, 2027.
Yeah, we're gonna get that and reignite the whole Greedo versus Han debate again.
Yeah.
But anything else?
Did he not even get a shot off in the original cut?
Yeah, he just kind of explodes. Or a dummy of him explodes anyway. But
Well, he was a dummy for going up against Han. So.
Yeah, I still actually haven't shockingly, I haven't opened the HasLab yet, but I got the Greedo from the Cantina set. It is a very nicely sculpted, engineered figure.
This is a really nice figure.
And he looks fine without the vest. So if you want him without the vest, he looks fine still. Because sometimes the characters look too thin without their outer attire or whatever.
Mhm.
But yes, as Maxibia says, he never shot in the original version. But all right, we're good on Greedo.
Let's do it. Let's move on.
VC394 Imperial Snowtrooper Commander. Another repack of a figure who's also not that old. We complained, we begged, we got down on our knees and prayed. We said, stop repacking figures from 15 years ago. So they said, herd, chef, let's repack figures from 15 days ago instead.
Yeah.
He is currently available, or was recently available, in the Pulse exclusive Stormtroopers of the Empire set, which I know was limited. I'm not sure if it still is. And it's not available everywhere, but
Yeah.
if you want more of them, this is a good way to get them. And I gotta say, that card looks beautiful. I love the pinkish purple they've been leaning into a little bit lately with Vader, and
I like that too.
This is
So-
another. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go
Bob
ahead.
says it's
I was going to say, at both this and Greedo, I have not opened the first versions of them yet. So I'm going to try to prioritize opening the original versions before I get to these. So
So,
Yes.
Riley Bob said, this one is definitely too soon. So, it's a good time to open up the conversation. I just want to say, I have seen some comments saying that Hasbro needs to be careful about repacking figures from multi-packs too quickly because it may disincentivize, excuse me, that's the word, disincentivize, right? Disincentivize people from ordering 3-packs in the future if they believe, well, Hasbro is just gonna put this out as a single figure, almost immediately, and maybe I don't want this other figure in this 3-pack, or I don't really care about it, so I'm gonna wait for the single carded version, right? They do need to be a little bit careful about releasing things, in such a quick, follow-on release. And we saw this same issue with Olive Garden Luke, from the Book of Boba Fett, right, where they put out the regular carded version and then they did the deluxe version, and
the Tuscan Warrior as well.
There's multiple examples of them sort of
This guy, at least he was
flooding
different.
us with too much of the same thing all at the same time. And Toys of the Way, I think you brought it up earlier about how they're already running this through the factories and the production runs, and then maybe it gets channeled into the different packaging, but it's all, I'd have to check, the date stamp and see
I'm sure
when
they
it was
were-
produced.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know about that.
It's just a consideration for Hasbro to be a little bit cautious. I don't know. How many people are like, oh, I just bought this, I'm not buying it again? I don't know. I'm going to buy several of them.
It's a troop builder.
And
It's
I've seen
smart.
some-
Smart
Some
repack.
people, like Nicholas Hallis says, we don't get Pulse exclusives here. Not sure where you are, but we do get fan channel waves. So I'm glad to see the Snowtrooper Commander.
Because think about this, folks, right? Let's say you have more than one AT-AT in your collection. As you can see, I have 3 here, right? It's still not enough to make Blizzard Force. But, each AT-AT has its own, company of snowtroopers,
Yeah.
right? So each company of snowtroopers is going to have a commander, or I don't know, maybe it's just a platoon size. Maybe there's more than one of these guys because there's so many snowtroopers packed into the back of those things. I don't know. All I know is you need more than one of them. So it is kind of an army builder. It's a generic squad leader or platoon leader sort of thing.
So
I don't know what size element that they command. But anyway,
Holonet says, how many of us have that many snowtroopers? And you just look at Tyler's background.
Yeah.
behold my pile of snowtroopers that I still need to open. Okay, they're out there. The nerds are out there. Ask my floor about snowtroopers. That's correct. One of these days when I have a snow day, I am going to finally open those.
A snow day in more ways than one.
Yes.
But I think, like people are saying, like Finn says right after, if there's a difference, or if there's, I don't know. I think it helps if there's a difference in the versions, like the 2 Clone Wars, Ahsoka, Anakin's. Like one had the cape and the scar, one didn't.
Yeah.
One had the cards, so at least that was a way. But like the Vader Emperor's Wrath is the same across the 2 versions. This and Greedo are the same across the 2 versions. So it's like, I don't know. But
Can
it's
you
hard to
highlight Findor's comment real quick? Because I think it's a really good
well,
comment.
Chrysanthemum, yeah.
Yeah.
Really, those ones at least had different head sculpts, but still, it was like I'm already overpaying It's
Can
a
you
tough
can you
pill
read
to
this out
swallow.
loud in case anyone's just
Yeah,
listening to this on
Chrysanthemum
audio?
Deluxe right after the SDCC convention exclusive version. It was a pretty bad trend for a while that undermined their deluxe expression. Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Both
The
of
other
those
thing
two
with-
releases back to back like damaged each other.
Yeah. And that
And
were
it
super
showed
expensive
in the
too.
sales.
They were,
Yeah.
And while that
Yeah.
one, like that Chrysanthemum exclusive from San Diego Comic-Con was really the one that everyone wanted to once they saw it, because it came with all the stuff and the better portrait where he's like angry.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
immediately made people go, well, why the heck do I want this other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, I can understand if they're gonna try and like repack this from like a 3-pack or whatever. Like, I get what they're doing here, also like appealing to, you know, carded collectors and stuff. But it is nice when there's a little bit more of an incentive of why the heck should I get the other one? So if it came with
Yeah.
like a couple more accessories that were exclusive to that set, that's something that I think would help me sometimes. Maybe not everybody, but
Well,
I don't know, just
think,
little things like that.
I mean, there were multiple things that drove purchasing the set at the time. There was this figure. There was also the upgraded Scout. There was also the upgraded
Snowtrooper that people wanted.
I mean, so it
I
was
would
an
love to see the
attractive
Sandtrooper.
3-pack
And I would like to see the Sandtrooper repacked for sure, so I won't be complaining.
for sure.
With a new knee, though, with a new left knee. Speaking of knees.
And
You
the
know-
ammo pouches on his belt.
Yes.
But let's get a little perspective here too, because like I think besides what is it, 000 and BT1, they've repacked pretty much every 3-pack character in the main line so far, or at least they've made progress on doing that. Now, this is a far cry from, remember, the infamous Fanstream where it was like, hey, here's a repack of that pilot Luke or Stormtrooper Luke from the Luke Skywalker 3-pack, and that's it. But you're excited, right? And everybody's like, no, I don't think so. This is the kind of thing that's they even presented it as much of just like, hey, it's another bite at the apple for this, you know, troop builder. It goes with other stuff that you can buy right now. It's something you guys have wanted. So it's not the star of the show. It's just a good supplement to, you know, other things that exist. So I'm trying to look at it through that lens.
Real
also
quick,
might-
go ahead, Toys. Go ahead.
I was going to say it also might be relevant with Mando and Grogu coming out with the
Exactly.
AT-AT actors.
100%.
That
100%.
and it goes well in this wave with the other figure that we're going to talk about in just a second. But before we get to that, I just want to shout out one figure from a multi-pack or a trooper 4-pack that never got repacked.
Know
And
where
I
this is
think-
going.
Well, you know, gents, no one's got more Enochs than me. Okay?
And you need
I can
another
say
one.
That. And I still need another one. Okay. Ahsoka season 2 is coming up soon, and we've seen like the teasers. I mean, most of us have seen like the concept art teaser for
From
Ahsoka, right?
Celebration,
Where from Celebration, where it appears that Captain Enoch is going to be making an appearance in season 2. That would be a prime opportunity, Hasbro, to repack a good, solid figure and put him on a card back. I think that character is prominent enough to where he deserves a carded release. So I would very much like to see Enoch repacked in the line. If I'm stupid and that's a terrible decision, type it in the comments and give us engagement.
I'll just
But,
tell you, Tyler, to your
I don't
face,
think
we're
you have an
stupid.
argument
It's a
because
bad idea,
nobody-
but I also want it. I also
I'm
Nobody-
gonna say that Tyler's brilliant, and Hasbro should ship him a palette of
Yes.
cards,
Yes.
bubbles, and some glue, and he can put
Yes.
all his Enoch
Yeah,
on
they
cards.
already did the
Listen,
production run. It's in
For
Tyler's
all
house.
30 that would sell.
I'm just gonna say I don't want to hear I've already got Enoch because I bought a Night Trooper pack. Okay, I have 30 something of them. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I don't care.
Oh,
I
man.
want him
want
on a
that Enoch.
card. I
It's all
don't
good.
care.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You're
Speaking
stupid
of-
and that's a bad idea. I would buy one though. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
Same.
you. See?
Same. I'm in the same boat.
I don't want to point out people talking about Sandtrooper. Yes, I agree he needs new barbell hips. The Stormtrooper sculpt needs barbell hips at this point. And yes, the Sandtrooper needs a few other changes, but before we get it repacked. But I'm just saying, one day I would like another bite at the apple, as you said, for the Sandtroopers as well.
Yes, for sure.
Can we segue into the next guy, kind of on one of the topics Toys was talking about? Are you going to read this one, Evan?
I was going to read this one and
Sure.
we'll segue into the next one. So
There you go.
during the Battle of Hoth, snowtroopers under General Veers' command were deployed from AT-AT or AT-AT walkers, depending on how you say that, and quickly and ruthlessly took control of Echo Base. Now, yes, General Veers' command is,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. And I'll say, going back to something you said a second ago, Toys of the Way, since the Mandalorian and Grogu movie features AT-ATs, is this kind of a stealth way, this and the next figure, to support the movie without outright spoiling it? I guess, not saying this guy or the next guy are in it. I love how we're dancing around to the fact that General Veers is coming. But it's a good way to tie classic entertainment with new media. They have previously done this. They released Luke's X-Wing right before it reappeared in The Rise of Skywalker. It was in a Star Wars A New Hope box. They've done a few, Black Series figures like Wedge and Palpatine before they came back, and Boba Fett's helmet before he returned in The Mandalorian. All that to say, we're getting deep fake General Veers in Mando and Grogu. Just kidding, I have no idea if that's true. But we are getting AT-AT, and we're getting General Veers in the vintage collection, which is even better. VC392 General Veers. And we have a lot to say on the card, but we'll be getting to that after we talk about the figure itself, if that's okay.
Yes.
This is the first, again, we're parting like it's 2006 left and right here, because this is the first Veers since the Saga collection went in 2006 at this scale anyway. It's based on the current Imperial officer sculpt dating back to Admiral Piet in 2023. People have been comparing this to the armored disguise versions of Cassian, Mando, and Mayfield, but it is a new torso sculpt. It's completely different than those guys. And I got to say, I think the portrait looks amazing. Again, this is one where in these images, it's like a painted flesh color face, so it's like not final at all. But like in the in the video and in the AT-AT cockpit shot that Shooting the Galaxy did, it looks a lot better, and it still looks good anyway. But
Yes.
I gotta ask, the one thing I'm not thrilled about, how about that hat? It's kind of, I don't know. Again, the photos of the color background show the prototype. They both have the helmet fitting a little differently. It seems kind of small in these images to me. It looks a little better in the one inside the AT-AT cockpit, maybe.
In this image, it looks kind of wonky.
Yeah.
I
Face
agree.
oddly on his head.
But like it looks
I like
better
it.
there,
Better.
I think, to me. It also doesn't have the microphone that the 2006 one did, but anything smaller these days is apparently impossible. So I don't know. The chin
portrait
strap
looks really good.
Yeah, his face looks amazing. They've done some. Sorry,
like
Tyler,
this.
plug your ears.
Fantastic.
They did some great 6-inch sculpts of Julian Glover in both Black Series
They
and
did.
Indiana
did, in
Jones
fairness.
Adventure Series, whatever that was called. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if you don't like this helmet. You got the old one from 20 years ago, I guess. But overall, I think he looks pretty awesome. I was surprised to see him.
I think the likeness is great. It's been mostly good, mostly hit rather than miss. I think Gergerod or Gergerod, however you pronounce it, was not a good likeness. But I think that Mahdi was a really good likeness. Piet was an amazing likeness. Pelion, outstanding likeness.
One of the best.
So I think mostly they're doing a really good job, and I think Veers looks really good. I don't know why they struggle with Gergerod so much, because the Saga collection one was not good either. But whatever. I'm happy to have the figure, and I'm happy to have this Veers.
People are asking about.
We need to talk about the execution though, and not just of the card, but of the figure as well. Can we talk about that?
Real quick, before we get into that, I'm not going to throw you down a whole Looney Tunes thing without having prepared, but how close does this bring us to Armored Thrawn? I've seen a lot of people asking that.
I do want to talk about that real quick. So that's a good one. And people are also talking about Tarkin and Governor Price as well. Tarkin's got a totally different helmet. He's got no goggles on in Rebels. And I'll have to compare the armor piece. I feel like it's also different, but I might have to. What I can tell you is that Thrawn's is almost identical, except that he's got a different rank badge. Veers is just 4/4. Thrawn's is 6/6. So he will need. But see, here's the thing about that, right? They've done many different Imperial officer sculpts now, where they're able to edit the torso and change the rank badge to be, different officers, right? And you can tell that it's all based on the same like digital sculpts, because the wrinkles are all the same on the torso. So these are all like based on one digital sculpt, and then they like tweak it, and then they make the actual physical tooling, after that. So I don't see any reason why they can't do the same thing with Veers's armor and then put out, Grand Admiral Thrawn from Rebels in the season 3 finale, 0 Hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very cool look for Thrawn, to get down on the ground instead of staying up in his Star Destroyer, get down in the battle in his battle armor. I thought was really, really cool. That was like such an awesome episode for me that I just absolutely loved. And I
You
made
can
a
come up-
custom
I'm
of
gonna
it.
need a
I loved it
Bendu.
so much I made a custom of
Yeah,
it.
need a Bendu.
I don't know, it's around there somewhere. But I think they should definitely put out that version. It would be super easy, barely an inconvenience, so they should do that. But as far as this Veers, when we first see Veers, he's up in the Executor or Executor. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Vader's Super Star Destroyer, and he's talking with Vader and Piet and Ozzel before his unfortunate death, right? And he doesn't have his armor on yet. So, and this is it looks to be just like Callus from Rebels, where the armor is part of the torso. It's not removable, and so I think that it's an interesting choice. I will say that the belt, when he's wearing his armor, he's got that extra big buckle that is
It's
not
got like a
normal.
snowflake on it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that. Listen, one thing I wanted to talk about real quick while I'm thinking about it is trust. When this General Veers figure was revealed, my immediate reaction was, I need to trust the brand team more. And I'll tell you exactly why. Okay. When we got this Snowtrooper revealed, right? This was back over last, was it like March or something like that? I want to
Yeah.
say.
Mhm.
When this was revealed, everybody was super excited. It was a big surprise, right? But then our immediate reaction was, okay, cool. We're getting this figure. Now we want a commander. Not long after that, Hasbro was like, I got you, fam. I'm already thinking about it. We're on the same page, right? And I was like, wow, Hasbro, smart, very smart. Bravo. Didn't even have to barely ask you for it, right? Because it was like already in the pipeline, already coming down the tube, right? And it's the same thing here with Veers. We get the commander, right? And our logical next step is, okay, now we need Veers, obviously, because they go together in the cockpit together, right? So what did Hasbro do? They put out Veers. We didn't even barely have to ask for him. Barely had to ask for him. I know we've been asking for him for years, but I'm talking about in relation to the commander release. We barely had to ask for him, and Hasbro was just on top of it, right? So I think they're really like starting to get it, guys. And
Yeah, they're
it's
completing the
Yeah.
teams.
yes,
teams and
like
themes.
this is what we've been talking about for so long. Is
And
like,
we're missing Grief Cardback.
why do I have
Yeah.
to tell you to make this? It's obvious, right? We're not having to do that anymore. Like they're
Yep.
just doing it on their own. And like I have to praise the team for this, because
Absolutely.
they're like doing this like leapfrogging to the next logical step without having to be told. And like we've been pulling our hair out about that for like years. And I think we have a really good team that gets it now, guys.
Yep.
And so I cannot praise the team enough for like being on top of it, understanding implicitly what the community wants, and just executing on it. And before we are even ready to say, well, now we got to get the next thing, they're already on top of it. They're already on top of it. Like,
And just to
Yeah.
highlight,
bravo, Hasbro.
Tanith commented he was number 100 on March Madness 2023 and number 89 on March Madness 2022.
I assume he slipped because after that we got the Imperial Officer sculpt, so people were like, "All right, these guys."
Yeah.
can come."
Yeah.
And yes, people are yes, well said, Tyler. And other people are saying yes. Do we want the version without the armor? Of course. And we'll talk about how to get that in just a
Yes.
minute. But and then
Yes.
people are saying, okay, what else would finish this off? The AT-AT driver could finish it off. And as they pointed out on
For
Tim's
sure.
stream last week, they have the same at least boots as the Snowtrooper Commander. So that's again more tooling they can reuse right there.
So regarding the AT-AT driver, I'm gonna choose going forward to trust. That's going to be my choice.
Yeah.
Instead of screaming into the void about Hasbro not listening and they don't get it, I'm going to trust, because twice in a row now they have done things without us even having to ask. So
For this
I
theme.
someone. I mean, it's not always going to be perfect. I get it. They can't deliver on everything all the time, but like, I'm telling you, like, I think we need to trust these guys. I think they listen better than we think and more closely than
Yeah.
we think. And I think they are doing their absolute damnedest to execute on what we want. I honestly, genuinely believe that. They're trying their best with limited resources, and Lucasfilm is pulling them in their own directions with their priorities, and they have to balance like new media and anniversaries and like what's rising to the top in fan polls and what's going to match thematically with their theme for the year. Like, there's a lot of stuff to balance, and I think they're really doing their best.
Yep.
So trust and have faith.
I mean, it's
My
pretty
faith
clear.
has been restored. So
It's pretty clear they've been listening over the last couple years.
Yes.
Like, just
Yeah.
look how many like
Yes.
characters from like the fan polls we're starting to see, and like actually completing some key scenes and like themes and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's more, and the fact that we've been asking for prequels for a long time, and we're getting into prequels, including some characters I never thought we'd ever get. However, before we praise them, we must ask them
Keep asking.
about this. Well, we still got to ask, but yes, trust that they want to give us what we want. Budgetarily, it's always a question of what they can do. First of all, if I can say a few things, we got 100 people watching the stream right now.
Well,
Thank you all
yes,
for joining
thanks,
us.
everybody.
Smash that
Thank
like
you.
button.
Yes,
Follow
make sure
us,
you're
follow Toys of the
subscribed.
Way. Subscribe to
Of
Toys
course,
of the Way.
as soon as you say that, two people leave every
Yes.
time without fail.
But if we can go down, one of the things that had people scratching their heads a little bit, including Tyler here, was the card for Veers, because there was a few ways they could have gone with it. If you'll indulge me here, not quite a Looney Tunes excitement, but we have a Kinner Classic card deep dive, if that's okay. I'm going to
Absolutely.
add this guy. So this is based on one of the original 96 was the AT-AT Commander. It was very clearly a General Veers figure in all but name, and the new figure recreates this card. It adds General Veers up in the name pill. Hunky dory, right? Except in 2010, in this image from our friends at Bantha Skull, you can see they already did a different AT-AT Commander as VC05. So this card does already exist in the line. However, this is one where I don't think they're ever going to release this one again, because now we have the better Veers and the better Imperial Officer sculpt. So there's no real reason for them to reissue this one, other than unless there's a huge fan demand for it. But yes, and here was my concept for when we were talking about Veers. I made a bunch of Veers concepts 5 years ago. There was another Veers figure in the Kinner line, which was just the Imperial Commander. It has Julian Glover's face on the card, and for some reason it's got an Imperial officer in a black tunic, which he's, again, sculpted to look like Veers, in my opinion. You might disagree, but he's got the black tunic seen more in A New Hope than in Empire Strikes Back. So there's a concept version of it, so there you go. We could also, I'd kind of, if we see Veers again, just in his regular officer attire, I would love to see this card used. They could say General Veers, Imperial Commander.
Yeah, that's how I'd like it in the name pill. Yeah.
Yeah. However, there was one the Sears Veers, which was a Sears Canada exclusive, which was a completely blank white silverish coffin and name pill, and then just completely black, not even a starfield, no nothing. But there's a carded version from Rancho Obi-Wan, and there's a reconstructed version from a guy named Todd Seglia on the Gen X Toys Facebook group when I found it by Googling. But there was my concept for it. So that's the General Veers card I really want for the true fans.
Sears Veers.
They know our history from the Sears Veers.
Love it.
But so in the real line, I would love to see this, and then another one. I know, Tyler, we've talked about it over the years, but I think maybe some of us would have preferred this card
Yes.
for this particular version of
Yes.
Veers, where it's tricky because
1000%.
So cool.
the Kinner card makes sense for this release, but they already did it. But it's like now we're doing it again, and it's kind of like, I don't know. He just looks like such a boss in this scene. So it could have
Yes.
been maybe an alt card in a couple of years when they re-release him.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yes,
John?
yes. I wanted to give the history, and now I want to hear your thoughts on the
All right.
subject.
So
Side up, boy.
the first thing I want to say is unequivocally, I'm very happy, ecstatic, in fact, to be getting General Veers, because that is one of the most prominent Imperial officers in the entire original trilogy. His battle sequence on Hoth is legendary. So he was a very important character to get, and I'm very happy to get the armored version first, because I think if we just got his uniformed version, we'd all be like, right, we'd be screaming. But I have to say, and I'm sorry, some people might disagree with this, but I'm not the only one saying it, and I'll bring up specific examples. I believe the Cardback was a misfire here. I think it was a mistake, and I think it's very unfortunate. Can you bring up that image of him in the cockpit again, please? This is what the Cardback should have been. And there's been many people who have done customs of this, you know, Sebastian with Blizzard Force Customs, of course, Blizzard Force Customs, right? Tim, his video that he put out, I think it was today or yesterday, but he was talking about how this card would have gone perfectly with the Snowtrooper commander who's standing right next to him in the scene. How awesome would those card backs have been together, right next to each other, right? It's such a missed opportunity, and it makes me sad, because since we just got this armored version on that card back, which by the way has already been done in the vintage collection, it's never going to happen. We're never going to get this card back. They're never going to, I mean, never say never, but like, I can't see it happening.
I was
I
gonna
can't
say,
see it happening.
we just got something. You know, they just
I'm just saying,
repacked.
Yeah,
There's a possibility.
I
we
don't
just
see it
talked about
happening.
that.
This is on the production floor. They could easily be like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
I
Let's
don't
put it on
know.
another
I
card."
don't see it ever. I wish they would. I don't see it happening. But we already got the AT-AT Commander card back with this figure. It's VCO5, right? Like you just talked about. And this is not General Veers, because if you look at the armor, look at the rank badge.
I'm
there.
saying,
What
yeah,
is
I know.
that? 3/3, right?
That's not General Veers, but I'm saying
That is not General Veers.
the original Kinner figure was General Veers. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I get.
It's
I
a
get
weird-
their intent. It's like they've already checked the original '96 box and they just checked it again. I like why?
Well, like
I don't know.
like Tana said a few minutes ago, like they did it with Vader too. Like they released Vader on the A New Hope card in 2012, and they did a much better version 10 years later.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
I get why they did it. I get why people might have preferred this look as well. Re-release them again in 6 months on this card, and we'll all be happy.
Yeah.
right?
Listen, I would happily buy this figure again on this card back. Like I said, Julian Glover, such a legend. He, obviously he's in The Last Crusade as well. I mean, so he's in both of those great.
He's in Harry Potter. He's in
trilogies.
Game of Thrones. He's
Yeah,
got a lot of nerd
Yeah,
cred.
yeah.
he's a
I mean,
beast.
he's an absolute legend. But especially in the George Lucas movies, and so Veers is very important. I'd like to see Tarkin next. Where's Tarkin? Everyone's asking where's Tarkin, Hasbro.
He'd
Let's
be a great one
please
for the
not wait.
50th
Yeah, it sounds like
anniversary.
50th.
50th.
They're gonna make me wait 2 years.
You know what's really
God,
crazy about all this and just the discussion of, man, they repack things too soon. I'm almost actually kind of shocked they didn't give us just a generic person for the
Mhm.
commander and then actually release something like this like
Yeah.
a couple months later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they still might do so now with all the Mando. I can't. You see an AT-AT commander in the like celebration one of the trailers for Mando and Grogu that wasn't released to the public, and hopefully there'll be a new one soon. But I can't remember if he has this exact armor, but it is very similar armor, so I'm sure maybe they'll reuse this body.
I think it's like white. It's
Yeah,
really interesting.
it's like white.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it was the tooling, if it would have to be different, but I'm sure they can use a
It
lot
makes
of
me
it with
want
the
to
new
look at
head.
it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree though. If it's a straight like repaint and with a new head, then put him out all over again. I'm all about getting more. I do know that the rank is the same. He's a general in the shot. I just don't know if the armor piece is exactly the same. But I would like to. We need the armorless Veers still, like we said earlier. I hope that they put him in his armorless, just uniform look on the Imperial Commander card, like you said, using the still of General Veers. Yes, thank you. The Imperial Commander card, and then we still need separately a black uniformed Imperial officer. I don't know. Do any number of the black uniformed Imperial officers from A New Hope, Danger,
Yep.
Commander Prodigy, what is his name? The guy who's talking to TK421. What's his name?
Paul Tradum.
Trade, yeah, something like that. There's a lot of different options from A New Hope to.
Could even do
that
some
guy.
Rebels.
I would prefer
absolutely.
Prodigy, but I know some people really want Danger because he's in the scene with Leia and Vader. And we have the Tantive hallway. I get it, but
Tantive V. But I'll say one more real quick.
He's Commander. That's his name, Commander Prodigy. So I think that would be the most logical choice.
Stephen Murphy's talking about another one. Nolan from the Bad Batch. He did have the same AT-AT Commander armor, different helmet, different rank badge.
Different helmet, yeah.
But yeah. Those are another.
That guy was so. I was so glad when he got shot. What a jerk he was. God, I hated that guy. But Caleb A. Judd said Captain Kaido from Andor. Yes.
Oh yes,
that dude was ruthless. I want him so bad with his cool poncho. Dude, that guy looked awesome with a scar on his face. Just straight villain vibes. Want that character.
Good night, Grant. We lost
anyway.
you.
See you, Grant's Galaxy.
Yes, there are a lot of officers we could do. But
I'm boring him talking about Veers too much. I'm sorry. Anyway,
let's move on. Can we veer into another direction?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Gotcha. So obviously my favorite reveal of the last lifetime, I don't know, VC391 Pogle the Lesser made me with anticipation, let me tell you. But can you just for a second? Okay, again,
John.
Again.
I think we're getting this bigger because all of the impersonations that you've done over the years.
I'll take credit. Whatever I put in the universe, whatever I put out in the
He's been doing a lot of Ben Solo ows, so let's get that too. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, but as you said, we're getting things to flesh out these little mini beats of the Snowtroopers and whatever. We're getting a freaking prequel, Glup Shadow, a separatist leader in the year of our Lord 2026. Who had that on their bingo card? I did not.
Nobody. Not nobody.
This is one of the surprises that I was like, yes, I'm glad they didn't pipeline it. I'm glad they just got to show it because the sculpt is amazing. Like the last, we got them. I know I always say new before redo. We got one that was repainted 20 years ago. Is from 24 years ago, 2002. But this one just looks so much better. Just the facial expression, just the gold stuff on his uniform, on his armor. Yeah,
bangles or whatever.
The fact that, and I always say, just articulation adds so much. Not every character always needs to be super articulated, but the way he can do this stuff just looks awesome. And so yes, they do. I'm sorry. I just said that twice the way. But look at that. You can have him flying around like in the Clone Wars.
Unfortunately, the figure does not fly due to
figure does not fly.
All out, yeah.
Can you highlight Bjorn's comment?
Where's that at? Yep. This basically confirms regular Geonosian.
So I compared Pogle to regular Geonosian warriors, and some of his pieces are definitely Pogle specific. Obviously, his head, and the pieces of him that have the gold bracelets and bangles or whatever they're called. But I think his legs can be reused and the wings can be reused. So again, I'm going to trust that Hasbro did not make Pogle the Lesser for no reason. Okay, they made this character for a very specific reason in my mind. I don't have proof, and even if I did, I couldn't share it. I think very strongly that they made a new Pogle the Lesser so that they can give us Geonosian warriors. I 100%. Do not think that they're going to spend one of our extremely limited all new tooling slots on random Pogle the Lesser for no reason with zero intention to reuse that tooling in some way. I think you're out of your mind if you think that this isn't going to be used for other things very soon.
You're not getting any Geonosian warriors. You're only getting Click Clack from Rebels. And
yes.
Depending on how he's assembled, Tyler, you said he could use the legs, not the feet. I think they could reuse the
correct.
hands, although they may not be super grippy, but the hands are
Yeah,
reusable because they're generic. The wings, depending on how he's assembled underneath, like the ceremonial skirt and stuff, maybe there's some more pieces that we can't see that they can use, which is nice.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All I gotta say is when I saw this, it made me very happy because I already know that they're probably going to be doing Geonosis Warriors, especially because the other ones that we had aren't
terrible.
exactly great. They don't stand very well. They're kind of annoying. And when Steve did his hint, a
little
quick
doodle
sketch, you could see there's Geonosis. So immediately we're like, are they just going to repack that one? Do they even still have the tooling? Whatever. And then this is just awesome. Also, Sarah Reynolds sculpted this, and she's just a beast when it comes to the level of detail that she puts in her sculpts. And also I love how she kind of engineers just
Sarah Reynolds
with a good aesthetic. Yes.
We got to get her back. She was on the show years ago at this point. I think when Darth Maul.
Mandalore Maul. She sculpted Mandalore Maul.
And that
one of
figure's
the
back in rotation
all-time
soon.
greats for TLC 2.0.
I sent her a message when
it's
she was
coming back
sharing
again
this on
soon.
her story that I was like, this is great. I love that you did this because you're
this is
exceptional.
incredible.
She's very proud of it, as she should be.
Yeah.
Yes. Utah Don says they've done interesting things with torso overlays, which can mean they can reuse torso pieces. I wonder
Can they
how
make
much they can do here,
Sun Fac out
but
of that? I don't know how.
yeah.
Because Sun Fac is like a sort of a lieutenant, right? He's sort of unique a little bit.
Yeah, and he was the one they sculpted him, and then they reused him for a lot of the other warriors, so that they all had his special lieutenant or commander clothes, whatever. Which
But they're not
didn't-
supposed
should have
to.
had. They're not
Yeah.
supposed to. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of couldn't believe this when I was watching the stream.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I was asking for necessarily. Just
No.
but the fact that
Although
something I never thought we could get.
you nailed it. Your mock-up card
Yeah.
back on your Instagram is almost exactly what the end of
I think I used orange instead of yellow, but yes, and I'll say it's not that they're copying me, but I think that it's a great shot of Pogle, and it has a lot of room above his head. That's a lot of the issues that I have when choosing a cardback image is how do you fill the rest of the space.
If they were copying you, they would have done the right Veers card. So
Sometimes they miss, but
yes, it's crazy too.
Can't win 'em all.
I can accept 2 repacks and a Veers on a questionable card if we get bangers like
But
Pogle.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not 100%. I'm close to 100% sure that we're gonna get Geonosis and Warriors because of this figure. But again, this is demonstrative of forward thinking on Hasbro's part, right? And I think a lot of the Jedi that are coming, like Obi-Wan and Ben, and we've gotten Saul and Yord, a lot of that tooling is going to be able to be reused in theory for other prequel Jedi. They're really being a lot more forward thinking about how they can strategically reuse tooling. And Callus, right? Callus used Thrawn's legs, right? Which is fine. Even though it's a retool and it's not new tooling, what does it matter? Because it's brand new, articulation. It is effectively like a brand new figure.
It's
right?
at least at modern standards. Yeah.
And Tyler,
I don't have a problem with that.
That's exactly what we've been saying since day one of doing SWTVC is pushing
Building
for
out
them to
the
expand
library.
the tooling library because then stuff, things that you haven't even thought of or other things, a lot of stuff becomes possible with modern tooling. And even if it's not specifically for that character. So
Yes.
Yep.
100%.
And then it also fills out as we're building out the Battle of Hoth a little bit more. We're building out the Geonosis, the box that they're all in. What do you call it? The platform of the leaders.
Balcony.
The balcony. Where in the picture from Shooting the Galaxy also where it shows Pogle in between.
I love that shot too.
In between our amazing Django and Dooku from last year.
Which I included these. They did it for Black Series on the last round of reveals where they're starting this new thing where they're actually taking really cool environmental photos and photography of new figures. They didn't do it for the Shakti, Padme, and Stranger, unfortunately. I think that would have been really cool. But I really love to see it. This is such a cool way for them to show off these characters.
Evan, can you keep that picture up just for a moment? I'm just grabbing something real quick because I want to show it in the stream. I didn't think about this ahead of time, but I just thought about it. I got so much crap.
But I'll say,
okay, all right,
okay.
Real quick,
Wow.
Hasbro. I'm gonna appeal to Hasbro real quick. Hasbro, Django, beautiful. Okay, beautiful figure, beautiful. But he does have a little issue. He is missing the little triangles that go above his T-visor. So I need you to correct that and put the figure out again on a beautiful card back. And what I need you to do is pack that in with this. This would be a brilliant
Not again.
release next year for the Battle of Geonosis theme. I know you love repacking things, Hasbro. Put this out again in Django's colors this time. This was only ever available once.
2010.
It is extremely expensive and hard to get now. People would go bonkers for this. If you don't have this planned, Hasbro, you're out of your minds. Easy money. Django. I'm messing up my stand here. Django, Slave One, excuse me, Fire Spray 31 gunship or whatever the heck they're calling it now. Put it out in Django's colors. Make money. Proceed to profit. You're welcome. I'm telling you right now. Do it, Hasbro.
You're missing one thing. I'm gonna need Young Boba.
Young Boba.
Yes, and Young Boba. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's incomplete.
I don't know how stoked folks would be at the price tag for that, considering the last release of it was like $200.
Yeah, but that's because they put out Bobas like 45 times. Put out Django's. Do something different.
I don't know about putting a carded figure in there because then I'd have to buy two. I guess Hasbro's licking their lips right now. But yes, and then Boba can lead to Omega. So if they want to finish the Bad Batch finally,
you want to do it.
Nice. And I saw Tanith talking about that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I do. I think that's a pretty good idea. However, Tanith mentioned Lot Dodd to finish the Gormos Libcath to finish. Sorry, he's been renamed so many times. Rune Hacko to finish the balcony would blow my mind. But yes, people want. I think the episode 3 Newt is more wanted by people. But if we're talking about finishing the balcony, that's yet another one, another group to finish. But at least we got the center there with Pogle.
Yeah.
Need a Mace Windu to disrupt the party.
Yes. And then I'll say, if you want to take a look at these figures in person and you want to speed and get caught by the police like Tyler did, you can go to the event at Red 5. Please obey all speed limits laws in your local area.
Go to the lane, be fun.
At Red 5, Toys and
Live a
Collectibles
little.
on Sunday. With the some of the Hasbro team. I think Steve, Chris, and Brandon are all going to be there, right?
Listen, nobody has stories for their grandchildren by telling the speed limit or by going the speed limit, okay? I'm just saying. Don't break the law, but,
I
stories
gotta
are
get
made
them
somehow, all right?
I know it's like there's always the conventions and stuff on the West Coast. There's all the stuff going on the East Coast where Hasbro's located. I'm High Plains trash, you guys. I'm living out here in the desert tundras and 100-mile-an-hour winds. But dude, Denver's not like tiny, and it's only like 4 hours from where I live. So Hasbro, if you're listening, at some point, like Mile High Comics is the largest comic shop in the country, and they do events all the time. And they've got a sail barge there that's for sale. That's just kind of could use some love and attention at some point.
And the fan club.
I tell Evan all the time, I'd rather blow away with what's left of my home than deal with DC traffic every morning. But
so here's Utah Don's a brilliant idea. Young Boba should come packed with that added triangle Django helmet that Tyler needs.
Yes.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, actually.
That's smart.
Okay.
Real quick, totally random. I was just looking at the back of the Snowtrooper Commander, and I just want to highlight something real quick. A little appreciation of attention to detail. Look at this, guys. Look at the little dots on his back and the little like gold. That's like these little like gold bars. They didn't have to paint that. but they did.
Gold paint.
Especially now with these
me.
labor prices.
Yeah. They must have got a deal
I
on
just-
gold paint though with Pogle and this
we
guy.
appreciate
Yeah.
the attention to detail. Sometimes they skip the paint apps and we give them hell, and then when they don't, I want to make sure to praise them. So
No, that
good
figure's
job,
great.
Hasbro.
Yeah, and back to the Pogle real quick before we go into the next topic. But just the fact that I got to praise him for. We've been asking for prequel stuff for years, and the fact that we're finally getting, a new Obi-Wan, even though he needs better knees. We're getting just the fact that Pogle is coming is insane to me and insanely cool. So I'm just really happy to see him come into the line.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
all
I'll
of us.
say that they're starting to build out Geonosis pretty decently so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not see this figure coming, and I'm so impressed and happy. What a cool surprise that was.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
I'm
feel like
excited
all of
to
our-
see how this looks in the end.
All of our reaction to it was just like, no way when that came out. I was just like, when they pulled out the diorama piece, I was like, they're not really going to do what I think they're about to do. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad I bought the Geonosis Arena playset from 2002.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and Coleman's going to be up there too. Oh my God.
Yeah. I need a Mace Windu and then I'll be
yes,
happy.
yes.
Like, let's do it. A new Mace Windu. I'm sorry.
Yes,
not a
we
repack,
need a
not a
new
reuse.
Mace.
New one. So
New one.
stay tuned for more Looney Tunics for how that can be possible.
Kingdom of Greed says Geonosis. I
Yeah.
love it.
Nice.
All right, all right.
All right. Well, should we move on? I know that
Yeah, we can
that
move
does it for all the reveals. 2025, man.
But now we gotta get to the meat and pit. We're an hour and 22 minutes in, and now we've got to actually talk about
pretty
what
good.
we're here to talk about.
Yes, the
So-
year in review. So,
Do you guys want to take an intermission and go grab a Coke or something?
I might need water actually.
I've got my Coke Zero, the drink of AI champions.
we still have much to discuss, so we're not going anywhere.
Give
If you
me
guys
water real
want to spend your Friday night with us, we'll still be here a while yet.
Everybody, take 30 seconds or a minute to step away if you need to. But we'll keep it going. I'm looking at the Snowtrooper right now. I don't have the commander on because again, I never opened that one. What are the differences between the regular Snowtrooper and the Snowtrooper Commander, Tyler?
I'll bring them up. So,
Okay.
real quick, can you ban Caleb for saying Aura Singh is the best figure? I'm just kidding.
I mean, that is tempting.
I'm joking.
Caleb Judd.
We're gonna talk about that. All right. So back to the Snowtrooper and Snowtrooper Commander. Okay. So if you look
real
here,
quick, be fast, Tyler.
super quick. The legs are different.
Okay.
The Commander has a holster and pistol. The shoulder is flipped upside down.
Okay.
And obviously the helmets are very different. The Commander has a distinctive helmet that's shaped, and obviously he's got that, lieutenant rank placard right there.
Okay.
Those are the biggest differences, really. He doesn't have knee pads. He's got different boots. No knee pads and different boots. He's got AT driver boots, I believe.
No backpack. The back piece is different.
Yeah, no backpack. Yeah. There's a lot of differences actually.
Yeah.
But
And
Sweet.
somewhere in between
forearm
the two,
armor is different. Oh yeah, he's got like gloves. Yeah. Here, let me bring that up.
there's
Good call.
there's a
Finn.
shocking
Hold on.
amount of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea that they were so different.
There.
And somewhere in between
Pretty
the
cool,
two, I'll say again, I need my Flame Trooper from Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, which is like
Come on,
Yes.
uses a lot of
Yes.
uses parts from both of them,
Yep.
both regular and Commander.
God, that'd be
Stormtroopers.
rad.
But then he's got the Macquarie kind of
Yep.
style helmet, right? Yeah.
I think
such
all
a
of the
cool-
body exists already. He would just need the new helmet and the new flamethrower piece. Maybe a backpack actually, but
Do it, Hasbro.
pretty close.
Sweet. All right. Well, and we're back. So yes, with these reveals, we've been mindful of the future, but now it's time to keep our thoughts here and now where they belong with our 2025 year in review. So how do we want to do this? John, do you want to walk through the stuff or?
You do it. Just slam on through.
Okay. So in January, we had, top 25. It's old hat at this point. We celebrated 5 years of March Madness this year. January through March, we were busy boys putting together stuff, mostly just John. We all just rest on his laurels. It's great. So anyway, 64 figures squared off in March, and the winner was Mara Jade. And I know, Tyler, you were pretty happy about that. So our, yes, 5th March
Ecstatic,
Madness winner.
ecstatic. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be
She
happier.
barely beat. She beat Asajj Ventress, who was then revealed the very next day.
Yes.
So
Oh
Fun
man.
stuff. Another
That
thing
was so
then,
funny.
forgive me if I have these out of chronological order. I don't really remember, but Celebration Japan was this year. John, you went to that.
it was amazing. I mean, Japan, amazing country. It was an amazing event. It was just so fun. Everybody
so
should
jealous.
go. Can't wait for the next one. In 2 years, everybody come out to LA. A year and a half
Oh,
from
yeah.
now.
We're all
Plan.
staying at
Yeah.
John's.
The Lucas Museum is going to be packed.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Packed.
It's going to be the 50th anniversary. It's going to be crazy.
Oh my God. Can see it now.
We also had season 2 of Andor that came out this year. It feels so long ago, and yet, good Lord, it was amazing.
Wow, that was this
yes.
year.
Yep. Don't worry. It was
Yeah.
easy to
Dang.
forget with no figures for it. So, and then also another thing that was easy to forget with no figures, Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary. Granted, yes, we did get that Obi-Wan and 2/12 reveal, and we had a couple figures that were Revenge of the Sith adjacent that could have been released on Revenge of the Sith branded cards or packaging. They just weren't. Was it spite? Who knows? So, Tales of the Underworld was a thing that came out. Look at all those figures we'll never get, but it was a lot of fun to see the continuing adventures of Asajj Ventress and finally holding up some clone troopers and Cad Bane as a kid. You know, gotta love
Colby.
that.
Yeah.
Colby, that's right. That's right. I stuck this one in here too. The High Republic Publishing Initiative actually ended the first 3 phases. It's like 5 years that's been going on. And I'm a fake fan. I haven't read phase 3 yet. I was so behind on all my books, but good Lord, man, if you haven't, read the High Republic. It's so much fun. I love it. And I cannot wait to finish it up. So, and then we also had something we've talked about a ton, and it's the Gunship HasLab. Was that June?
I don't know.
Gosh, this year was such a blur.
Yeah, it's time flies when you're
wrapped
having all
up
the
it.
fun.
Well, it was like August into September, right? So
Must be, yeah, dang.
yeah.
Wild. So that was fun. And we talked about that so much. There are literal dozens of hours of us, all 4 of us here, talking about it across multiple streams. So we don't need to say anything more about it other than neat. Can't wait to get it next year. Star Wars
So excited
Visions
for that.
season 3 that just came out recently. I haven't finished that yet, but I did love the Ronin episode. We talked about that not too long ago. Then we had another fan event was recent. That would be Last Figure Standing. And is this their
Yes.
3rd Last Figure Standing?
Yes.
Perfect. Luthen Rail from Andor took the mantle of Last Figure Standing this year. So that's always exciting. Come on, Hasbro. Let's do this. And then lastly, one more anniversary this year, and it is The Force Awakens 10th anniversary. Hard to believe.
Can't believe that. Next week, right?
Yeah, next week. And I just want to take one sec on this one where, of course, the Revenge of the Sith anniversary, that's huge. That's important. And it means a lot to me. This one means a lot to me as well because it hit me at a different stage in my life, obviously 10-year difference. And it's really when I got full force back into collecting, full force back into just loving Star Wars unabashedly, because that those wilderness years I kind of fell off there. So it brought me back into the fold, and I am forever grateful to that. And I have so many good memories around that. So yeah, I know we've talked about all those things. You guys have any thoughts on any of this stuff that we just speed ran through?
All that I'll say, I can't believe Force Awakens is 10 years. I'm doing some cards finally for Force Awakens on my Instagram page at the Vintage Concepts. I did Han, which I still can't believe we don't have Han in any kind of other than the snow jacket version for 3.75 super articulated.
Yeah, I would have loved something, but I will say I did figure this. There's no time like the present to finally open a figure I've had for 10 years and never opened. Constable Zuvio. Sorry, yes. Mr. Stevie, I'm sure you love that. So yeah, I've never. Sorry, forgive me while I
never
unbox
opened it.
Open it.
I've never opened.
Those
the
cards
Constable
were so
Zuvio.
weird with they had like cardboard folded on top. I think because the figures before it were falling off the package. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very strange. Oh man, this is a blast from the past. I forgot they came with instructions on how to use the little accessory. Neat. Yeah. All right, Zuvio, let's do this. Forgive all the plastic sounds. All right. He's
Straight
breathing.
out of the-
He's free. He's in my
Wow.
collection. Ladies and gentlemen, the good constable. What a cool character design. I'm bummed that he was cut from the movie.
I saw Steve Evans was posting. I think that was the first piece of concept art that he saw for the movie. That's probably why it stuck with him. Probably why we have the figure.
I mean, yeah,
Look at
5
that guy.
POA, blah, blah, blah. But, we're not going to get this figure updated.
Let's see him.
He doesn't need to be updated.
That big old
Maybe he
T-crotch.
does. Maybe he does.
Maybe he does.
Fully
I don't know
articulated.
about that.
This is a really cool character design, and I'm ashamed that I never opened him. So I'm glad that we finally rectified it. Happy anniversary to The Force Awakens. Happy anniversary, Constable Zuvio. God bless.
Now Tyler's going to take 10 minutes saying everything he loves about the sequel trilogy. Just kidding.
Yep. And let's move on.
He is. Yes, people said he was. Yeah, you could put him in the Navarro Cantina
Oh,
because
true enough.
his his aide or whatever, his friend, his lieutenant was in Mando. Anyway,
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Well, all right. What a year that's been. So, it's not just anniversaries and events, it's collecting, what we all do here. And John, you've got some nice notes here.
so I said by my count, if you bought every TVC release this year, just one of each, that means you got 67 figures spanning 4 mainline waves, 2 fan channel waves, 3 deluxe releases, some Target exclusives, 2 troop builder packs, 5 other multi-packs, 2 vehicles, 2 creatures, 2 playsets, and a partridge in a pear tree. One of those playsets was, of course, the Mos Eisley Cantina HasLab that we backed last year and received this year. This is Evan's beautiful checklist.
It's a
And
little small here, but we'll be posting it on Instagram.
last year there were 65 figures released in 2024, plus 6 more that squeaked out at the end of 2023 that were probably on the 24 budget year. And if you count Salacious Crumb as a figure, which maybe Evan does, I don't know, add one more for him, 71 or 72 with the Crumb Man in there from last year. And 15 of those were all new compared to, we'll get into those in a minute. There were 52 releases last year compared to 49 this year. Uh-oh, the line is dying. Sound the alarms, everybody. Sky's falling. But that we got more multi-packs this year by a pretty significant margin. I'm sorry. For the kids in the audience, yes. This year we got 7 releases, 7 figures. There you go. So,
All right, folks, that's it. I'm gonna call it a night there. I'm gonna go kill my. I'm just kidding.
So numbers wise, I'll say we're going to get into them by category, but look at that spread. Quite the spread overall. We'll get into thoughts on each category and then overall at the end. But by my count, and we can quibble on some of this, there were 17 all new tooled figures this year. Tanith says 18. I'd love to know the difference. We'll get into that. There was 27 partial tool, including 3 where there were only new tooling on the accessories, not the figure. So if you don't count those, that's fine. We got 12 repaints and 14 repacks, and we'll get into those momentarily. So yeah, pretty good.
Sweet. Yeah, it was fun to put together this grid. I do enjoy putting these together. But I think maybe
what a great looking year, man. Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I look at in there that I'm like, damn, I can't believe we got that, or dang, that's awesome, dude. Or also plenty of finally in there. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Couple why though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be some of that too.
Yeah, we can talk
a lot of good.
We're gonna talk about the mountains and valleys and
And as Holland says, completionism is a worse disease than army building. And brother, I have both.
Yeah. My health coverage does not cover.
What if you have both? What if you have completionism and army building?
Oof.
That's like super terminal, right? Because that's what I have.
You
That's
have
like stage 5 screwed.
You have days to live, Tyler.
Let's see. Tanith counted Anakin as well. We'll get into that, Tyler.
Yep. I know Tyler's going to agree with Tanith. I am going to vehemently disagree. So
let's talk about figures that are definitely all new. I counted 17 of them. Should we name them real quick?
Go for it.
Art them down. Luke Skywalker, Jedi Master Indara, Imperial Snowtrooper, Balin Skoll, Shin Hati, Carson Teva, Night Sister Marin, Moff Gideon in Dark Trooper Armor, Han Solo, Bin Obi-Wan Kenobi, Moma Nadon, Imperial Armored Commando, Joris Sabaoth, and then 4 from the HasLab, Wooher, Seni Tonica, Greedo, and Nabrin Leeds.
Sweet.
Pretty dang good.
Yeah, I was surprised as I was putting this graphic together. I was like,
So-
dang, that's more than I thought.
14 outside the HasLab, right?
13.
How does that? Okay,
math,
I thought it was
13.
14. All right, whatever. Anyway,
If we're counting 17 and then -4, that's 13 kids
Yeah.
staying in
But
school.
Tyler's
it
still
was
counting
4.
Anakin, though.
No, I'm not. In the HasLab, it was Wooher, Greedo, and
Cindy Tonica, Nebrin Leeds, that's 4.
oh, and
Yeah.
Nabrin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one of the other Tonica sister was a partial tool. We'll get to her.
Yeah. No, I'm tracking on that. I forgot about Nabrin or Nat. That's his name, right? Nabrin.
Yeah.
Nabrin Leeds. Yeah. So 13 outside the HasLab. What did we get in 2024 for our all new tools?
This is I counted 15, including
Okay.
the ones from the Ghost HasLab.
Okay, outside the HasLab, how many for 2024?
I don't remember
That would
2024,
have
but it's
been
Well, if you count, so like 11.
and some of those were mainline release. I don't know. So it's similar. We got a little bit more this year. Let's just
what
put
I'm
it that
trying
way.
to say is incremental growth, right?
Mhm.
Yes,
At least we're growing, right? So, and we got I mean, we're gonna get to all of it, but like we also got 2 more beasts and two more all new beasts. We got 2 more all new vehicles. So like
Mhm.
the line is growing, maybe not as fast as we'd like it or wish it would, but when you look back at like 2020, which was so awful that it birthed the creation of this
Yeah.
page, this group, right? Holy crap, what a difference, right? So the line is growing, it is getting better. It's like turning an aircraft carrier out at sea. It doesn't turn on a dime. It takes freaking miles to make a turn, right? It takes a long time to change. But I think we are seeing growth and incremental improvements. So
And that reminds
Yes,
me,
and
Tyler,
that's-
you said it birthed SWTVC, and we were talking about all the anniversaries. Happy anniversary, guys. It's been nice
Wow.
doing all this for 5 years. So we're
someone said,
couple months
I think it was
past that.
Kingdom of Weird said, thank you for 5 years of madness, as in March Madness earlier. Number 6 coming up soon. So very cool. Very cool.
Yep. So
All right, shall we talk about best and worst from these all new figures? Let's talk about
let's
it.
do it. And I am
Yes,
not
yes,
going
yes.
first, I swear.
Start with best. How about our guest, Toys of the Way? Why don't you
Yeah.
go first, buddy?
All right. When I was taking a look at this, because I haven't had much chance to like really sit and ponder for the year, Hammerhead or Balin for me.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of undecided which one I think is better. Hammerhead is just kind of a really fun figure to hold. Like it
Mhm.
checks off a lot of things. It's something that the community really wanted a lot of. The articulation is just impeccable. They do really well with some of these like alien figures that have like weird anatomy, and he just really sealed the deal. Balin, I think for me also sticks out a lot because I like all the articulation that's going there with Balin. Sculpt is pretty nice, and just like for me, Ahsoka is one of those things that I was really excited about. I loved the show. I'm very
Yes.
excited to continue with that. Ray Stevenson, amazing actor, always loved him. So for me, Balin has a lot of like pull as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two are just absolutely phenomenal figures.
Yep. I'm gonna piggyback. I'm gonna jump in and say I think Hammerhead is also probably my top choice. He's just the sculpting, the engineering. One thing that I love about it is the nod to the history of the figure line in and of itself. The fact that he has accessories from the Kinner version with the blaster and the Hasbro Power of the Force version and the Saga Collection version. He has accessories looking back at all the versions of the figure we've got before, which is fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I think just the paint, the deco, the soft goods, just everything was 10 out of 10. Even though the card, yes, I know it was 1 inch too wide. However, it was a 10 when it should have been 9, or it was a 8 when it should have been a 6. Whatever it was. But and then one thing I want to shout out is, even though I haven't opened the Cantina yet, just the fact that we got the Tonica sisters this year is still pretty mind blowing.
Yeah.
After all the campaigning and dreaming that has been done for the past 20, 30 years on those. Again, shout out to Victoria's Cantina. And I know we went through the process of celebrating them a year and a half ago before they arrived, but still very cool to finally get them in hand this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Real quick, can you highlight Stephen Murphy's comment?
Uh, having Ray Stevenson immortalized in
True that.
TVC is obviously special. Rest in peace. Hopefully they don't wait too long for Rory McCann. We don't want Balin returning to March Madness.
So I just want to comment. Unless he is wearing a completely new outfit inexplicably and looks totally different, I don't think we need to worry about that.
Yeah.
It should just be a new head on the same. I'm
And with the
assuming they're
cloak
going to
would
put
be
out
great.
that
And with the cloak.
likeness. Yeah. Yes.
Cloak.
Yes. And that, unfortunately, the omission of the cloak on Balin and also Shin are why they did not get my figure of the year. I
And
think
who did?
Balin would have been a very strong contender for me, but my figure of the year has to be Geonosis. Has to be.
Yeah.
And it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, I never in a million years thought we would get this figure without like years of grueling fan campaigning and begging and pleading and like crying to Hasbro, please make this figure. Right. They just did it. They were just like, surprise. And like it's just the most amazing thing that this is a reality. I cannot believe it. I can't. This is my favorite thing in all of the vintage collection, and probably that ever will be, unless they make a Death Star. That's the only thing that could top this. So, Tyler's a happy boy. This was a special thing for me this year. Geonosis is so cool, and also just the figure is really impressive. You know, he comes with his like amulet from the cover of the book. And he even comes with a lightsaber and a unlit hilt. You know, a lot of times they omit that. They did not omit that in this release.
They didn't even
So
need to
I
include
gotta,
the lightsaber
and they
at
didn't
all.
even need
with
to
them.
include that because
Yeah.
he's never once mentioned in the book to be using a lightsaber. But you know what? They threw in a lightsaber because, like, a wizard without no lightsaber, I guess, is kind of lame. So they're like, you know what? Let's give him a lightsaber. And you know
It
what?
bumped
I'm
up the
okay
figure
with
for
that.
me. I'll tell you that much.
It's just
I'm
a
okay
I
with
love
crazy
the
old
figure,
wizard.
So that's got to take my figure of the year for me. That's my top choice. I will say I wrote some notes here, so let me see what I said. Hold on. I want to make sure I don't forget any thoughts because my brain sucks. All right. Honorable mention, Snowtrooper. You
Yep.
know, I gotta throw this my honorable mention because I did buy like over 100 of them. So I really do love this figure.
It's
a lot,
amazing.
A
It's
lot.
another A+ figure.
Yeah, outstanding figure. And you know, all the all new figures this year have been pretty amazing. My favorite could have been Dark Trooper Gideon, but he's missing a pretty critical piece, and that's his swappable head. So that immediately just, you know, when a figure is missing like a necessary, essential accessory, automatically like you're losing a point. You're getting a 9 out of 10 off the bat. Like just off the bat, you've lost a point. And unfortunately, if you're not a 10, you're not going to get figure of the year, right? So like just can't. I'm sorry, Gideon. Hasbro decided you didn't need a head, so that was unfortunate. But you know, lot of great figures this year. So it was tough. It was considerably tougher than 2024. In terms of my personal interests, 2024. I was kind of light on purchases in 2024. 2025, what a banger of a year, man. So many good ones, so many good releases. I think honestly, 2025 is the best year for TVC since the line returned 7 years ago in 2018. I mean, I think it's indisputably the best year for TVC 2.0, meaning since the line's return. I don't even think you can argue that. Like, but anyway,
I could,
I've
but
said
I
it
don't
all.
remember him. But yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Tyler, look at all these new figures. Like
Yeah.
those of you watching, you know, we got them pulled up on the graphic. If you're listening to it, I'm sure we'll have this posted somewhere. like, look at those are all incredible. It was so hard to choose, it's my turn to pick mine, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I didn't want to cut
Yeah,
anybody off.
yeah. Go ahead, Evan.
Ben Kenobi, one of my most wanted OT figures. The Snowtrooper, another one of my most wanted OT figures. Hammerhead, like you mentioned, you guys, those are all incredible. Balin, the Imperial Armored Commander. It's so hard to choose. Throw rocks at me if you must. You guys are gonna hate my pick for my favorite figure, the one that I've had the most fun with. This is the one I have enjoyed the most personally. Thoughts on the source media aside, whatever. It is easily Jedi Master Indara for me. This figure, the articulation is bonkers. You can pose her like she can pose wildly and do incredible action. Like, I had so much fun doing a crappy little photo shoot. I want to do more photos with this figure. She came with all the accessories she needed, the little comm link, the unlit lightsaber, the lit lightsaber, a really nicely done robe. The likeness is incredible. It's Trinity from the Matrix, dude. This figure is so freaking good. And, her legs and arms and, some of these pieces can be leveraged to do some prequel Jedi, I hope to see some of this tooling reused. This figure is so much fun. I love it. Even if there's characters that are maybe more meaningful to me in the offerings, like Ben Kenobi, this Indara figure is, for me, the one that I think takes the top spot. So
Nice.
Anyway, apologies.
great.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
I'll apologize for nothing. It's a great figure.
She's a really good figure. I like reviewing that one and posing that one a lot.
Yeah. And Trey Rich says, still need Jeki and Kelnaka. Yes. And I'll just take a Jeki at this point to complete that, and I'll shut up forever and you guys can be done with it. It's fine. But yes, dude, Indara, so good. Anyway, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for your consideration, everybody. And for not, I don't hear any knocks at my door. Nobody found me yet. So
There might be some knocks when we talk about the worst of the year, though.
yes, let's do it. What's the worst?
You keep it rolling because you've been talking about this figure a lot this year.
I'll tell you, mine are contentious.
Well,
I'll have to go first, but I might piss some people off with my choices
Well,
for worst.
I'll just go first on this one, Tyler, real fast. It is worst out of this new batch is Han Solo, and it's almost purely because the fat wrists. I absolutely hate the aesthetic of those forearms. It is disgusting. He looks terrible, and it doesn't look much better in hand. So, there's plenty of these things that we see in these photos, and well, in hand, it actually looks really good. Nope, not this one. It does not look good at all. And it's tough because I've noticed it on, our Jedi survivor Cal Kestis from 23 or 24, somewhere in there. The Stranger upcoming looks to have some kind of thick wrists because, John, you mentioned earlier, small pieces seem to be impossible for Hasbro now. This adding the thicker wall thickness to the plastic where the pegs go. Not a good look. I don't know. But that being said, still being the worst figure from this bunch still means it's a damn good figure overall, in my opinion.
And it's amazing except for that.
Yeah.
And
so
the hair,
it's a great figure except for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's mine. Continue.
I say Tyler, you go
Some people
because
say the
it's
likeness isn't
similar.
there,
Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's a toss up for me. And when I say worst, I'm not saying that it's like a horrible, horrific figure that deserves to go in the trash can. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that out of this beautiful assortment of all new figures, I'm putting these at the bottom due to the fact that, I got some issues with them. And that is, it can be either a toss-up for Farm Boy Luke for me or Han. Farm Boy Luke, he's got these weird bug eyes, man. He's like, it's weird. Oh boy, Brandon just joined at the worst time when I'm criticizing instead of praising. You're gonna have to rewind, Brandon. I said a lot of nice things too.
Oh yes,
First of all,
welcome, Brad.
congratulations. Mrs. Hero graduated her master's program today, so I'm tuning in late. Congratulations to the master.
Wow. That's awesome.
Brandon.
What an achievement. Oh my God. She must be so relieved and happy. You guys are sure popping some champagne, I'm sure. I would be. God. Hopefully no more homework ever again. But I remember when I got my bachelor's, people were like, "You're gonna go for your master's now?" No. But yeah, bringing it back to figures, it's a toss up for me between Luke and Han. Unfortunately, I really wanted those to be perfect, and I'm still happy to get them. I think that the Luke that came with the land speeder actually was better in
It
terms
does
of
look
like
better.
the
Yeah,
paint apps.
they dialed in the photo a little bit or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did
Yeah.
something with the eyes where it just looks better. But man, that
I
initial
agree.
release was like, ooh,
Yeah.
dude just shot up with something. He's scaring me, man.
I love that
Death sticks or
Brandon
something.
tuned in for the part of the show that we were negative.
He's just having a little bit too much blue milk. It's all good.
I know.
Yeah.
It's worth listening to the whole thing, Brandon. I promise we were really nice at some points. So,
Yes.
but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, toys. Go ahead, or John. I don't care. Whatever.
You can go,
Either way.
toys.
All right, you want me to go? For me, worst figure out of this bunch, the Moth, just because it was a
Interesting.
ridiculous shortcoming to not have the portrait.
It's an incomplete figure.
It's an incomplete
Yeah.
figure, and it's
Yeah.
like such an essential piece to like the season 3 like Mandalorian stuff we were getting, and it's just like, how are you gonna do that to that actor?
Yeah, the worst was when they were like, "Oh, just use the old head." Like,
Yeah,
bruh,
that was like
come
a
on, man.
no, dude. No.
Yeah.
And I almost would have been a little bit more forgiving if they even put that head in the packaging. It would have been inaccurate, but at least he had a head. Whereas this is just like just the helmet's on, and I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
great
Yeah.
figure. It's such a good figure. It's
It is
such
a really
good
cool
figure.
it is.
You know,
It's a great
his-
figure, and I'm very glad to have it. But
His knees are kind of weirdly articulated, like the way that when you rotate them,
Mhm.
they look like they're broken or something.
Yeah.
That is that because he also because I don't have the figure on hand with me. Does he have the thing where I think that with any of the characters that they've sculpted like the knee angled,
Yeah,
it's
It's
got
that, I
it
think,
has
yeah.
a weird look, and I get what they're trying to do. I appreciate what they're
by
trying to do with it.
hiding the joint, yeah,
But it just makes the joint worse, or in the event of like Obi-Wan and stuff, it makes the joint too low. So
Yeah.
I really think they need to go back to the drawing board on that idea for how they sculpt the thighs and around the knees.
You need to take a little bit more consideration with the knees.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, they're a
think,
little
yeah.
weak in the knees. All right.
I don't honestly have a pick for worst of the year. I have the same issues as you guys have on all these figures, and I think pretty much those three are the most glaring issues for me. I think overall they're pretty damn good though. I think Han was kind of, I don't know. Luke and Han, their portraits are still. It's hard to nail those guys' faces just because we've been looking at them for almost 50 years now. But
Mhm.
I will say though, there's certain, like when you talk about Han's wrists, right? Like there's certain things that I feel like are passing QC or like final inspection of like rubber stamp of approval. Yes, this figure is good. Let's put it into production. There are certain things that are getting missed or like rubber stamped where it's like, how did this get okayed to go into production, right? And another example
Obi-Wan's
is, again,
knees.
I know like we're always bringing up Sabine and her enormous bobblehead helmet, but like it's one of those things where it's like, how did that pass the smell test?
Yeah.
Who signed off on that? It looks terrible. And like
Or was it
Han is
just-
like one of these examples. It's like, how did you look at those wrists and be like, yep, looks good. Let's put that into production. I just like,
well, and
come
the
on,
sculpt
man.
the sculpt has been shown online, and like it looked a lot better pre-production. So like the
Yeah.
wrists look normal, they look fine. It looks like an amazing sculpt, and then I think just
I think Chris
Sometimes
Rife
the-
said that
Yeah.
when we talked to them on the show. Yeah, when it hits production, things kind of change in ways that they didn't expect.
and
Yeah,
sometimes like the
yeah.
train has left the station, they don't have time to as much time as they'd like to tweak it and go back and forth 100
Yes.
times, but
Yeah.
it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and somebody pointed out, Shin is a great figure, but her hair just looking I wish there was a wash on the hair.
Yeah. for
Like,
Yeah,
it's
they
a
did it.
little off.
I'm in talks with a guy in Taiwan to give me a custom paint job for
Oh, nice.
one of her. It's gonna be expensive. It's that same guy that I sent my Thrawn armor to, so it's
Oh,
gonna
nice.
cost me a small fortune, but whatever. At least it'll look nice. So
Shall we move on to partial tools?
Let's do
yeah,
it.
let's move
Do
on.
it.
Yeah.
And some people might say is a full new tool. But I count 27 of these guys who are Dedra Miro, Anakin Skywalker, the Clone Wars armor. Clone Trooper Lieutenant Teth, Lieutenant Callahan, Jedi Knight Yord Fondar, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Legend, Asajj Ventress, Agent Kallus, Alexander Kallus, Rocket Launcher Trooper, who only had new tooling on the accessory, Crosshair, Cobb Vanth, Chewbacca, IG-12, Grogu, and Anzelin. One of the Battle Droid Army builders, Captain Gilad Pelion, Grand Admiral Thrawn from that same pack, Darth Vader, or Anakin Skywalker from Episode 3, Darth Vader Redeemed, the Emperor's Wrath version, Snowtrooper Commander, the Sand Trooper, and the Scout Trooper from the Stormtroopers of the Empire pack, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Jedi Spirits pack, Jawa, Mos Eisley, again, just the accessories were different, the bandolier, Luke Skywalker Tatooine from the Sand Land Speeder, Sabine Wren Peridia, again, just a new helmet, and then Brea Tonica because she reused parts from the other sister.
Sunny.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Sunny. So that's 27 of them, which is pretty dang good. And there's a lot of them where it's like, I know Tyler, you were saying in Tanith, like people roll their eyes, like, come on, it's a new figure. Anakin is basically new, even though the legs debuted on a different figure. I'm looking at it from Hasbro's perspective, but still, they use a lot of really smart, reuse of modern definitive pieces that lead to other, great figures.
Yeah, that's why I want to give them
Yeah.
credit for that, where it's like these two partial tools that, yes, it's amounts to one new figure, but it just is proof of how smart investment in certain tooling can yield multiple things for both things that we want from one character. So
Yeah.
So I just want to say before we start, I battled with my team about whether to give Hasbro credit for this figure as one of the all new tools for the year, even though this figure was like a pre-tool, right? That lent his legs towards this figure, right? So there's different ways of looking at it. You could say these are two different partial tools. I don't know.
and you'd be right, but yeah.
And you could.
And yeah,
Could, and in
I
many
don't
ways
know.
you should. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at it from the way Hasbro invested the money. Yes, at the end of the year we get two great figures, both of which uses entirely 2025 parts. Anyway,
Yes.
depends on how you slice it, but whatever.
Like without when we look at the year, there are figures where we're like able to look at them undeniably. This is an all new sculpt. It's not difficult to see. We can see there's no reused parts on this, and that counts towards one of our all new sculpts for the year. And then sometimes there are figures that reuse pieces, and we can quickly identify those in it, right? Like Callus using Rebels Thrawn's legs, right? But then some of them are like really difficult, and you're like, is that a reused piece? I'm not sure, right?
Yeah.
But this is one of those examples where Anakin's boots are so distinctive that we can very obviously tell, right? And of course, it's the same character, so they would be the same boots. But like, we can obviously tell that when combined, that is one all new figure, right? I don't know. I kind of want to give them credit for that additional all new figure, but whatever.
I mean, I hear you. It's also
Yeah.
like when they made those legs, that they're also thinking that we will eventually be putting those legs with that body right there, which is an all new figure concept of tooling or whatever.
And
However you want to look at it.
I mean, I know Chris Swansky calls it a pre-tool, right? And it's kind of like the Jod, Nanawood, and Arleal situation, right?
Mhm.
Jod's got Arleal's legs, basically his entire lower half, right? So
Well,
you could
It's based on Jod's
Yeah.
costume, so Arleal would have.
okay,
Jod's legs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the best figure out of these guys? We'll give them credit however you want. Anakin's a great figure, however you want to slice it. What's
Yeah.
the best of the year of this bunch, would you say? I'll start, damn it.
Yeah, do it.
There's a few. I was looking through the list. I bolded a few. One of my favorites was the Jedi Spirit Anakin Skywalker. Just the fact that we get the Hayden version and the Sebastian version in one, which I did not expect them to do that. I thought that was such a fun way to do it. I got a few of my favorites. Maybe it's not the top best, but also Crosshair. Just the fact that we finally got Crosshair. so many years later, based on the Hunter sculpt, which is fine by me, but it did not need to take this long. But excited to finally get him, and Asajj Ventress, also another one that I think is just amazing. You wouldn't even know that she was using reused parts because, most of the Morgan Elsbeth parts are under her skirt, or it just makes sense for the character, so it's totally fine.
Yep.
And I think, I know we have issues with some of the lightsabers on that figure being a little too thick, but
And again,
overall
like we
those-
said it, earlier, if the figure is reusing pieces, but it's still got fairly new parts that are like state of the art with all the bells and whistles as far as articulation, it feels like a brand new
Yeah.
figure.
Mhm.
It
Yep.
effectively, is a brand new
And the
figure. Even
It's
though
just
a
done
retool.
that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
fact
calling
that they're
something a partial tool is not a knock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just saying, a
No.
lot of these are really great reuses of existing figures, and some were
Yes.
figures that came out this year, but the fact that they keep expanding the tooling library means we
Exactly.
can have more and more and more figures that, even though they reuse parts, they are up to modern standards.
Yeah, they're quality.
Yes.
And this is like what we've always like kind of been looking for, is
Mhm.
getting actual updated tooling to have this kind of nice library. So we're getting lots of nice partial tools and not just like repacks of something from 2006.
Yes.
And toys on your list, you want to go next? I see you have one that I mentioned as well.
Yeah, for me, Ventress #1, just because she was high on my March Madness list for a while. I love the character. I love Clone Wars, so to finally get that figure is just top notch for me. If I had to shout out a couple other ones, definitely Crosshair again, just to finally get some Bad Batch going on, which is really nice. And Pelion, really well done. I think that's one of the best Imperial officer portraits that we have. Period. And that cap being redone to not be removable does look
Mhm.
much better.
Yeah.
And just
I
I don't know,
agree.
you look at that figure and you're like, wow, that looks freaking good.
I forgot to
Yep.
mention, if I can go back to Veers for a second, when I realized that if they wanted to reuse that head, they'd have to give him one of those removable caps, which I'm not a fan of. Pelion
Yeah.
shows how much better they can look if it's not. I know it's
They'll have
better
to
for
retool
customers.
the head to
Yep.
But-
have a
I'll have to do that.
non-removable cap. Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler, I see you have a similar one on your list as well.
Sure, I'll go next. So, first of all, I just want to say it's really hard. It's not hard because like my favorite thing ever came out this year. But if I were to put those aside for a second, it's really hard to pick out my favorite partial tool this year because there's so many good ones.
Mhm.
There's so many good ones, and even sort of like unsung heroes like the Teth, lieutenant, clone trooper lieutenant, who was actually a phase one
Mhm.
501st, like putting out that brand new phase one head that's going to
Yep.
be reused God knows how many times for amazing clones in the future, right? Like that's a really great retool.
And it turned a great figure into a perfect figure in my eyes.
Yes.
A near perfect figure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you look at Callus reusing some Thrawn parts, which is totally fine. He's a fantastic figure. The Snowtrooper Commander, great retool. I mean, there's just so many really solid retools this year. But my favorite is either a toss-up between Pelion and Thrawn. Again, this whole packet, it's just like, it's my favorite thing. This is my favorite thing. I stay awake at night thinking about this, right? Like, I love it. I love it. Okay. But, Pelion, like we said earlier, his likeness is just absolutely phenomenal. I think it's one of the best head
Yeah.
sculpts in the entire line.
Yeah.
I don't know, Hasbro, I don't know who you hired to digitally sculpt that, but give that person a raise because my gosh, incredible figure.
And a fine mustache to boot.
Yeah.
Yes, and a fine mustache to boot. And then, the Thrawn, it's a toss-up too, because we've had multiple Thrawns now in 3.75. We had, the Power of the Force figure. We had the comic pack figure, we had the 5 POA Rogue One figure, and then we had a couple, several more in the vintage collection, but we've never had Thrawn before with his iconic EU epaulets. Never been done before. And that's like the Thrawn, if you're an OG Thrawn fan, like that's the Thrawn that you know and love from the very beginning. So that's truly a special retool for me because like that's the Thrawn look that I've been waiting for, and so many people have been waiting for. And so, like in my mind, this is the best Thrawn that exists in all of 3.75 history. And so it's hard for me to pick between Pelion and Thrawn for my favorite retool because they're both fantastic. So it's ask me on any day, and it could be one or the other. I'm kind of cheating there, but yeah, that's my answer.
And Holonet One says, yeah, Pelion wasn't based on a real person. He was. He was in Mandalorian.
He was
season
Xander
3.
Berkeley.
Yep.
What's up? What's up, Blitz?
How's it going, Blitz?
Xander Berkeley, who plays Captain Pelion in The Mandalorian season 3. There's a scene with the Shadow Council where Gideon is talking to all these Imperial officers, and they're all holograms.
Yep.
Captain Pelion is one of the guys. So yes, he is a real person, and I expect we will probably see him in Ahsoka season 2 and or the Mando movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of Pelion very soon.
Indeed.
But anyway, I've said
Evan,
enough.
Evan, what would you say for best of this bunch?
Look at that photo. And do you need to ask? You know. You already know the answer. It is, despite me raging about the legs.
IG?
Oh, yeah, it's IG. No, it is Jedi Legend Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, yeah, Tyler, like you with the Heir to the Empire pack, this is one that, yes, it's a recent look from the show from 2022, but it's got that origins for the mythos look that, it's what, 20 years now, 15, 20 years.
So cool. So cool.
It's really awesome. I love, Ewan's Obi-Wan is my favorite character. So it's awesome to have one of my favorite looks for the character. Shout out to the Mandalorian on Instagram. He's doing the Lord's work, fixing all these Obi-Wan legs, just making them less stubby. He did a really great and effective swap on this Obi-Wan with the Ben Kenobi legs, made him a little more proportionate. So yeah, my gripes with the short legs aside, not even those can, harsh my vibes with how much I love this Obi-Wan. It is so cool. But Anakin, Revenge of the Sith, or World Between Worlds is up there. Yord is great. There's, again, great selections. It's hard to choose, but that's mine.
Yes, when I was looking at the notes for last year's Year in Review show, this was your most anticipated figure of the new year, and perhaps there's a similar theme going into next year.
Yes,
Obi-Wan.
Maybe.
We're getting some. You got some banger Obi-Wans this year for
It's all because of Obi-Wan.
Yes,
Ewan and Alec in a lot of flavors of each, which is awesome.
Yep.
What was your worst out of this group? I think we were all probably on a similar page.
I think there's an easy outlier here.
Do we all say it at once?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Dedra.
Or
Awful.
is it Dedra or Deidre? I can't
Deidre,
remember.
Dedra, I don't know.
Either way, she's terrible.
Dedra to me.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
It's such a
Obi-Wan's legs were
bummer
forgivable.
because-
These legs, not so much.
It's just such a shame because it's like we asked for a
She was
proper
such a highly
Imperial
anticipated
officer.
character. Yes.
We also want a female officer sculpt. This was your chance to do it,
And
and
she's
you really messed it up.
and she's an amazing
Yeah.
character. Watching Andor season 2, I was like, damn, I'm glad we have the
Yes.
figure, but I wish it was a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope that Hasbro, I don't know how sales were for Dedra or Deidre, however you pronounce it, but I don't know if she sold well or not, but if she didn't, I hope that the lesson that they took from that was not, they don't want female Imperial officers, because that's not the message that people were sending. We do want female Imperial officers. We just want them to be done right and proportionate and with female parts, right? So like we very much want Governor Price. We want Tala. We want, Isan Isgard, right? Like
Admiral Dala. Yeah.
like there's so many Juno Eclipse,
Mhm.
right? Like there's a ton of female. The comms officer, what's her name? Elia Kane.
Yep.
Elia Kane from Mando. We want all these awesome female Imperial officers. We just want them done right. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope they heard that feedback because definitely
Yes.
were people.
That's
were
all
making
it
some
is.
Noise about that one.
That's all it is.
It's another one that you wonder, like, how did this get rubber stamped? Like, who was like, yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, if it was just a budget thing or whatever, and like
Yeah,
I
someone
don't
saw
know.
the budget and they're like, "Oh, that's great. Let's
Yeah.
I
go."
like how you put her behind the other characters on this thing, so we can't see her legs
Yeah,
as
yeah.
prominently. So if you put her behind stuff, I mean, the new stuff is great, but there were a couple others. Obviously, she's the least fulfilling one. There were a couple others that are
the
literally
battle droid kind of pissed me off
half-assed.
a
Yes,
little
the
bit. Yeah.
battle droid and Chewie. I want to talk about those guys
Yep,
too, because
those
the battle droid, like
Mhm.
the legs are a great update on both of them, but then it kind
Mm-hmm.
of highlights how frustrating the rest of them continue to be because they're
Yeah.
from 15 to 20 plus years
And
ago.
and then you're stuck with the 4-pack of them. So if they get around to doing the last update to do the arms, then you're like, great, I have a whole bunch that have crappy arms. And
It's
now,
kind of like how they,
At least they
We'll
can
see.
stand.
yeah, at least they can stand.
Yeah.
It's a huge improvement. Don't get me wrong.
And again, like I said before, my silver lining on this one is there are plenty throughout the movies and the animation that aren't using blasters. They're just milling about the separatist
Yeah.
ships or whatever. Use them for that, and then save up your
And there's
whoopee
plenty that are
for-
laying on the ground, sliced up and broken and dead. So.
I already have those from the last release when they didn't have legs
Yeah.
that could stand.
Yeah, except the legs on all of mine are just totally like bent because they couldn't even handle their own weight. It's wild,
Yes,
Gravity
Some of
wasn't
them
their
say,
friend.
but yeah,
bring them out in Geonosis colors with new arms. Absolutely, I'll buy. I've been waiting for a good Geonosis battle droid for decades at this point.
This might
I
be
know.
our time.
Could be the year. It could be the year.
and Chewie needs new arms. It's the
really
it was
does.
the update.
Yeah.
It's the year of
And,
legs.
and the Scout Trooper.
yeah,
Yep.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I
They
hate
keep.
this torso. I hate it so much.
oh
Yeah.
man,
Where they added the legs
Can I-
on that one weren't even that bad. Where it's like, why? I don't know.
I gotta
Previously.
bring up one more disappointment too, since we're on
Yeah.
the subject of,
Yeah.
of disappointing retools. There is absolutely no reason, again, putting the Heir to the Empire pack aside because nothing's ever going to beat that except for a Death Star. But if I just put that out of my sight for a second, there's absolutely no reason why this
Right.
figure should not have been my figure of the year. I love Anakin.
It's great.
I love Anakin. He's one of my favorite characters. Vader and Anakin are like, I know I'm known as the Thrawn guy, but Anakin / Vader is my favorite character in Star Wars.
Yep.
He is. And it makes me genuinely sad that I cannot say this is my favorite figure of the year because it's got some critical flaws. I hate that I have to criticize this figure. I hate that there's anything wrong to nitpick about this figure, but unfortunately there is. And that's that number one, I've said it a billion times, the hair color is just completely wrong. It's way too blonde. And number two, the hinge on the wrist went in the wrong direction. It goes
Yep.
like this
Yep.
instead of like this.
Drives me
All
crazy.
saber wielding characters all need to be able to point their lightsaber like this. The hinge has to go this way on the dominant hand, right? The saber wielding primary hand. Okay, they've got to be able to point their lightsabers forward. Anakin, when he's walking forward in the scene on Teth in Ahsoka season 2, he's got his lightsaber pointed down. He does that all the time, right? He's got to be able to strike that critical pose, and this figure cannot do it. And it irks the ever living stuff out of me. I'm not going to swear on this live stream. I'm going to try really hard to behave. Please retool this figure and fix that hand because it drives me nuts, Hasbro. It
You know-
drives me nuts.
I'll pitch this kind of on the heels of the Looney Tunics of it all. If they did a Battle of the Heroes 2-pack with Anakin and Obi-Wan, and they had
Totally fine with it. Put it
updated
back out
legs,
again. Yep.
updated legs on Obi-Wan, and then they updated the wrist. They had a new hand on this Anakin, and they,
Yeah.
whatever the new head for Anakin would be, or if they used the Jedi Spirit one. No, because he's bad in Battle of the Heroes. Ignore me. But fix the hair color and soft plastic skirts instead of the soft goods.
Yeah.
I'd go
Hyped.
nuts for that. That would be a perfect set. So.
Yep.
Yep.
I'd buy it all over again, several times over, probably. Yeah.
Well, all right. Where are we at on?
So yes, I was looking at comparing a couple Anakins. So into the repack repaint category, if we can move on to that, if that's
Yep.
okay. I want to give my little spiel real quick. So I counted 12 repaints and 14 repacks. There's maybe some overlap between these two categories, but I kept quote unquote repaints as significant changes, making the figures into different characters or different versions from their prior releases. And I kept repacks as basically the same figure plus or minus a photo reel update. And then, I guess we'll get into there's the issue of additional runs of figures that came out just a few years ago, including, we'll get into that in a second, I guess.
Yeah, we can talk about that in the repack category.
Okay. So this is repaint, so they're significantly different than the prior version, which were Chopper in Imperial disguise, the Mandalorian Super Commando, because it's now the Ahsoka version, the Imperial Shock Trooper, Clone Shock Trooper, and then the 3 other battle droids, because they all had individual unique paint. Hammerhead and then Walrus Man, Greedo, and Snaggletooth, all from the Cantina Adventure set, the Kinder Colors set. Yoda, Jedi Spirit, because he's the only one that had no new tooling in that set, and then Tusken Raider, Bantha Rider, which is based on the ones from the E4 pack a couple years ago. Best one, obviously, I mean, I see you guys have it in the notes. We can all say this one too, I think.
Is there really even like competition here? Come on.
It's obviously Battle
3,
Droid number
2,
3.
1. Shock
Shock
Trooper.
Trooper.
It's
Yeah.
the Shock
Although
Trooper.
I will say my runner-up was Chopper.
I think
'cause,
Chopper's mine,
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chopper's so fun, and it's like this is the smart repaint. Like it's something. It's
Yeah.
from the show. It
Mhm.
actually makes sense. They literally repaint this character in the show. These are the kind of repaints that I like to see.
Yeah. Yeah, Shock Trooper without a doubt. Obviously, the best one. It's an army builder. It's also I haven't seen one in so long.
Yeah, dude. And, I got to say, I was looking for a Stormtrooper earlier. I don't have one handy. But Hasbro, do this with the actual Imperial Shock Trooper on the Stormtrooper skull.
Yes,
from
100%.
Battlefront.
Please.
Dude, I genuinely, they've put out that Stormtrooper so many times. I can't fathom why they haven't done that yet. Like, it's crazy to me. It's actually crazy to me that they haven't done that yet.
Happy
But,
10th anniversary to Battlefront 2015 too.
Oof, yeah.
yeah.
insane,
True,
but-
true. Oh God, so wild. But no, I'm very happy that they put out the Shock Trooper. It's beautiful. You know what I love about it is the deep crimson red.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the best red that they've ever done on a Shock Trooper. I have one of the old ones here.
Yeah, it's like that.
Crap. I can't wait to sell it to some sucker that buys it off of me. I mean, what? Buy my figures. But no, I'm just kidding. I mean, look at the difference on these reds, dude. Huge difference.
I mean, even the red on the skinny mold
Yeah.
one is
Huge
not
difference.
great either.
No,
Hold those
it's
up again,
not.
Tom.
It's not. Yeah. Sure.
And even that one was hard to get. So even at the time,
It was. I only have 2 of them.
Dude,
Same
look at
here.
the difference.
Night
Yeah.
and day.
Yeah.
Massive difference.
it's beautiful. I know if you were not thrilled about some of the shininess of it, but I think it looks so good, and it matches like when they come out in Mando season 3 to fight Kelleran,
That's what I was going to
capture
say.
Grogu. They look shiny. They
Yeah.
look so good.
Yeah. I bought 30 of them.
Dang.
Nice.
And I know you were saying that the vent on the side is kind of more Clone Wars sourced than the
Yes,
but
Pokey Ketchup would be very pissed at me if I did not bring up the fact that is one thing that is superior about the old figure. I'm going to ask you to zoom in again.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, we talked
this is a
about
very
this
small
already. But
detail.
yes.
I know it's
Yes,
worth
yes,
bringing
yes.
up again.
Yes.
The animated ones have less vent lines down towards the bottom of the. Sorry about my grubby little finger there, but.
Those
You know,
vertical lines.
Hasbro, if you're gonna do a realistic paint job, then go all the way with the realism. Like, don't do this weird hybrid where it's like half animated and half realistic. Like,
And
make
even
sure
if
you
they-
get your details right,
Even when they quote unquote source it to Clone Wars, like these are realistic interpretations of characters, whether they're from movies or animation or whatever. So they should be realistic. But anyway,
Yeah.
still great, still a great figure. I bought a lot
It's
of
a
them.
small. It's not enough to make me not want to buy 30 of them. I will say.
What's the weakest in this category for you guys?
Ooh.
Oh man, what did I put down?
I'll say personally, I'll
let's
say
see.
the Mandalorian guy was not. He's fine, but like they didn't even. They needed to redo his belt to make it completely accurate to Ahsoka. So it was kind of like he's not a bad figure by any means, but it's just
No.
not one that we really needed necessarily.
It didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really land for me. I was kind of like, okay.
I think
why?
Tanith, you and I are always in lockstep, so it makes sense that you're.
You guys are the same person.
For me, it was burner account. No, Ponda Baba. I just like
Yeah.
it's a swivel like.
Yeah. And
I
it's
don't
not
like.
even
I don't
the-
really. Wacky repaints are super not my thing. Like
Yeah.
I
And
just I don't enjoy them.
well, and that one's also particularly frustrating where it was like if they had not done the included the jacket and then just done a different
It was
paint.
done so weird.
Yeah, the way they did it doesn't look at all like the Kenner. It's so weird. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
because he was wearing a jumpsuit on the original Kenner
Yeah,
one,
I
and
am
the
my
shirt's
own
kind of
person.
like.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I know you guys hate the wacky repaints. I think they're kind of fun. I'm sorry, but
I like
I,
wacky
I love the
repaint.
hammerhead
Yeah.
and I like the Greedo.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
For me,
It's just me, I guess.
Yeah.
For me, the worst-
That's
the worst one here is Blue Snaggletooth.
your boy.
Because-
Your boy zoom in on Sutton.
Zoom in on Sutton.
I love Snivian so much. I also always wanted a Blue Snaggletooth. Who
This
was
was
this
not the
for?
way.
They just took Zutton and made him blue. He looks like a blue ninja, not like a goofy, tall space boot Snivian.
Well, my thing
which is
on
what I
this.
wanted.
My thing on this is that when they designed the Blue Snaggletooth figure, they based him on photography of Zutton from A New Hope. So like they had
True.
sculpted him completely accurately, even though then the holiday special one was based on the figure, then the final figure was based on the holiday special. Very confusing. It's Inception, Snaggletooth Inception.
We got to go down a Snaggle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snaggle deep dive.
We got to do a real zoom in on Sutton here.
Yes. Yeah, I just wanted so much more from him.
Fair enough.
You know, not to be redundant, since you mentioned Blue Snag and Ponda Baba as being the weakest. For me, I agree with those. Those are mine, but I will say dishonorable mention to the Tuscan just for using the crappy Wandering Jedi lower legs.
Right.
Those are, just look at how stupid those look. It's like, look at how, it's so low. Those are not where knees go. What's happening?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't opened
Anyway.
Bantha, but
All that walking on the Dune Sea.
Oh my God, man. Yeah.
Bad on the knees.
shall we go
Oof.
to straight repacks now?
Yeah, let's move on to the repacks.
And again, similar. And then one was not included. I'll just get this out of the way. I'll name the 14 that are here. Dr. Evazan, R.S. Singh, both of whom got photoreal. The 501st Clone Trooper, Dengar, who also got photoreal. Ponda Baba, again, regular Ponda Baba. Stormtrooper, Gamorrean Guard, Bomb Vimden, Snowtrooper from the Army Builder, ×4. And then Anakin Skywalker from the Journey of Anakin Skywalker, the one with the cape, because it was no new tooling, but it had a new accessory. And then Darth Vader in the TIE Advance, which was the exact same. So I did not include Bib Fortuna on this list because there were. Evan, you want to explain that? He's kind of an additional run.
So if I may, I kind of, in my head, I break this up as there's repacks, and that can include reissues, because reissues will maybe have a different card back, or there'll be different details on the
Package
figure.
refresh.
Package refresh. There'll be something different about it, like it is being intentionally done as part of that product year's offerings. Bomb Vimden and the Gamorrean Guard both had slight tweaks to their card back to, match the current style. There's some little differences there, and maybe the slightest bit of difference in the deco there. So those are reissues. People are finally getting their Darth Revans. That was originally a 2023 figure, but there's been a secondary run. I call that a rerun because there's no difference to the card back. It still has the original 2023 year on the card, like all of the, legalese all over there. Same with like the X-Wing and the upcoming, Jabba's Goons pack is, those things have no changes whatsoever. They're just doing
Probably
another.
Revan too, right?
Yeah, they're doing another. I already said Revan, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're doing another it's just a rerun. It's not a refresh, not a reissue. Yeah. So Bib Fortuna had nothing different. It still has the 2021. All the legalese, everything is 2021. There's nothing different about that.
All the figures
release,
in the back of the card,
other than it's just printed on the thicker card stock because the original release was on the thin paper card stock. But is that enough to classify it as new for some of you? For me, it wasn't for classification, although I did keep one to put in my collection, and it was so stupid to buy that figure when it's like $4 at clearance how many years later. So. But yeah, sorry. Thank you for letting me go on a spiel. Does that make sense?
It makes some level of sense. So if people really want to include Bib Fortuna and Revan or whoever else, or that Luke's X-Wing, they can. But says these graphics are awesome. By the way, guys, Evan has been killing it with the graphics on the stream.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Evan.
I need to. I've been, as I'm looking at them, I'm noticing things I don't like about them to fix for posting. So I'll
all
get
good.
on that.
So what is the best of the year? I know Tyler's answer. Tyler, just go ahead and tell us.
Yeah, say it.
I'm gonna say 501st
Yes.
Yep.
because and here's why. So the initial offering of the Phase 2 501st on this sculpt, the new definitive sculpt, right, was in the 4-pack. And that was extremely frustrating to attempt to army build in any meaningful numbers because of the assortment of that 4-pack. It was 1X 501st, 1X 332nd, and 2X plain white grunts. I hated how that was set up. But the actual figures themselves were wonderful. But it did make trying to army build these in meaningful numbers a huge headache. And so I think it's very sensible that they put these out single carded. Very smart choice. I bought, I don't know, like 80 of these or something. Not enough, I know. It should be like 100. That's my standard, right? Like I'm like lame. But anyway,
Slipping.
I bought a lot of these. I'm very happy that they did them. I am perplexed that they went with Obi-Wan for the card back. More on that later. But I will say though, now I think the community is pretty done with the 501st. I would caution Hasbro to move on to other legions. It's time to tackle the 327th. You haven't done those in a very long time. You need to do the phase 1s from Attack of the Clones and all their different colors, right? I think people are satisfied on 501st because they did them on the skinny mold, and then they did the 332nd on the skinny mold, which is a slight variation of the 501st, right? And then when they put out the new sculpt, they did them all over again. And so I think people are very like 501st out. They're very like they're exhausted with 501st at this point.
People are saying that's part of the wave that's showing up at Walmart now, which there was a mailer 6 months ago that they were supposed to be part of, and they're showing up now.
Yeah,
for
solid
$20.
cases of that wave. Jedi Legend Obi-Wan, Balin,
Yes.
The Mandalorians, and 501st clones. And it's odd that those...
And then we Amazon Haul, as Evan pointed out, there was I got 6 more for like $8 each the other day.
Yeah.
And then the 327th have not been done since Legacy Collection.
A very long time, yeah.
And then I would
Can
also...
you put out...
dated 212th, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Put out the 212th with the new non-removable Phase 2 helmet. Can you highlight Camtono collectibles real quick?
Named 501st. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is the exception. This is the exception, right? If they're going to put out like Apo or Commander Bo or Commander Vil or Tup or Dogma, that's the exception. But I'm talking about like standard grunt 501st. I think the community is quite done with
For
those.
sure. They perfected it. We don't need to keep going back.
Yes.
So
if I can jump in,
100%.
I'll say that was
Yeah,
also
please do.
I have 2 picks for the best of the year. That was one of them. I bought many more of them, even though I have several of all the other versions as well. But I think this one is the best. It's one of the best army builder figures they've ever done. The clone, both versions of the clone are amazing, sculpt wise. I mean, and then it's just great.
Phase 1s as well, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Phase 1 and the Phase 2.
Yep.
And the other one, even though it's a little outdated now, but I just love that damn Gamorrean guard. It's one of my favorite figures in all of TVC, even though it has swivel hips and all that. But they just nailed it. 15 years ago.
It's a good figure. Yeah,
it's a great figure. It's a big chunky boy. I love the soft goods or the furry tunic he's got. I have way too many of them, but I got a few more, and I know the price was a little bit of a stinger this year, but Target always has some nice sales where you can get $10 off if you spend 50 or whatever. So still a great one. I was glad to see more of that guy.
Yeah. Toys of the way. How about you?
For me, definitely the 501st, but also shout out to the Stormtrooper still being out there. I think that's always a good one to have kind of in circulation. I will agree that they need to update the hips.
Yep.
Yes,
I think after this, we should update the hips. A lot of people are calling for that.
Yeah.
And just to like finalize that Trooper is like very definitive in that regard would be nice.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going to get 5 versions of him every year, like we
Yeah.
got the-
Yes. Like
Yeah.
it's worth the investment, Hasbro.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And people are saying you need to have the stormtroopers constantly available, and I totally agree with that. By refreshing the card, it's an obvious effort to continue to make the stormtrooper attractive and also continue to make the stormtrooper available. But I've seen lots of comments in the community that are saying I'm not buying any more stormtroopers until they update those hips.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I think Hasbro needs to really start listening to that and consider prioritizing updating those hips before putting out any more stormtroopers.
Maybe
Agreed.
for the 50th.
Yeah.
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 Something they should consider is what I've said in some of my videos, as wonderful as the Stormtrooper is, it's quite magnificent. It's nearly perfect.
Yes.
The Clone Trooper is absolutely perfect.
Yep.
It is better than the Stormtrooper.
100%.
And they should be on the same playing field, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's weird that there's not just a plain grunt available.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one where they kept updating because he was released without rocker ankles, and then
Yep.
we know those hips now.
Can you highlight Caleb's comment real quick? There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exhibit A, right? People are deliberately waiting to purchase more stormtroopers until they get updated. So
And it's kind of-
important.
It's like the troop builders with the battle droid set where it's great, there's the troop builder, but it's done on the outdated. If they do new ones with updated arms, it'll be great, but we got a 4-pack available.
They did that with
the
the
crappy arms.
Stormtroopers and the clones. And
Yeah, the stormtroopers and the clones are on the most inferior version of those figures. So it's tough. So
what's your pick for best though, Evan?
mine. So interestingly enough, I actually would have classified this one as a repaint, John, because
Okay,
it has
all right.
a slight difference on the face. They included Anakin's scar. It's Anakin, obviously.
Oh, that's okay. All right.
Yeah, it's such a minor difference, but we have argued for over less.
Yeah.
So
Good catch.
Fair
and
enough,
I mean,
fair
they
enough.
did have to invest in new soft goods cape for him. But
I freaking love that
Yes.
cape too,
Yeah,
man.
I really do.
I love it.
even with the ancient arms on this figure, it works. It is
Yeah.
smart reuse. It works. This is such a fun.
You forget about it. I don't
It's an-
even like.
It's
I don't
just an
even-
exciting figure.
Those
He
arms
can
ain't
do
bad.
so much, man. It's
Yeah.
really cool, and it looks a lot like that really cool comic cover that we saw last year. I think around the time of Ahsoka coming out of Anakin in that look. It's very cool. It's very cool. So that's my pick for favorite. But the clone
Good
you can't
choice.
go wrong with.
I'm actually surprised you didn't go with Dengar, but
I mean, to be fair, I don't hate a couple of these as much as everybody else does.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and go. What are the weakest ones?
Some of the worst.
I
think we know again.
We all know.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, or a
Aura
sword.
Sing.
Aura Sing.
Because why? It goes with nothing that they're doing. It was so pointless, and it comes with
no,
less.
no. It's worse than that. There's not everything about this release is worse than the last
Yes.
time.
Worse.
It comes
deco,
with
worse,
less
yeah,
accessories,
higher
less
price.
deco, higher price. There's nothing about this figure that makes me want to buy it.
Yep.
Not a darn thing.
Yep.
That's a problem.
also the figure
That's-
was bad before.
Yeah.
Too short.
Yeah.
Too short. No-
Inferior
no-
articulation.
No ankles.
Awful.
No
release.
ankles.
Awful release.
I will say. I will say
I'm
her.
gonna say. Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
The photo reel is quite nice,
It
but
is.
if
That's the only thing. That's the
Yeah.
only thing.
so you can pop that on the old body if you want to, but still.
That's the only thing. Negative aura. That's the
Yeah.
aura.
The old one wasn't even that bad in terms of photo or
Yeah,
face
yeah.
paint applications.
for sure.
Yeah.
And for me, it just drives me insane because they now are starting to have better tooling. They could leverage some stuff from the Tonica sisters on those
Yep.
lower legs and throw it on a partial new tool and get us a proper Aura Sing.
Yes.
Throw it on a Clone Wars
Yeah.
card, do what you got to do.
And
I don't
that-
ever want to see that thing
And I
again.
want
That's
her
what
other.
they could do for the Legends stuff, because Aura Singh was a big character in the Dark Horse comics with
Mhm.
her being a failed Jedi apprentice and all that fun stuff. They could do cool stuff and some repaints there. That would be exciting.
People saying the hair has less paint too, so I'm sorry you
Yep.
can't do that actually. So
The rifle too. Everything less paint.
And they could always
Awful.
repaint her in her
Awful.
all black, kind of stealth look.
Yeah.
yeah,
from
I
Clone
really
Wars.
want that one too. And
Yeah.
Tanith says, I strongly believe this character is not worth spending any more tooling on. I figured they would at least, I think the Tonikas, they were a similar skin tight outfit, so they probably could have used those legs to update Aura if they wanted to. Some
Yeah.
parts of them, I don't know.
I don't know if they're
Getting
thinking about
this
it.
figure in 2025 as it is, and how it turned, like that is just like an absolute. What are you doing? When they revealed it, it was just
I'm
insulting.
gonna go a little further and call this an
So,
insulting release.
yeah,
This was bad. There's just there's no sugarcoating how absolutely atrocious this release
and
is.
the reveal of it was tied to a reveal of some prequel stuff that we want in the Black series. Then they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
but then part of the Fall of the Jedi thing. Here's your Aura Singh repack," and it was like, "Guys, are you
No,
kidding?"
no.
Yeah.
The only prequel
This
figure we got.
reeks of like we ran out of budget and scrambled to put something out.
This
I
is
think
the-
they went into
They're asking
Phantom.
for- they're
I
asking
think
for
they went in
prequel
Phantom
characters.
Menace stuff like a while back.
My
Let's
God.
give them that.
This is,
Ah,
it doesn't go with Return to Tatooine. It doesn't go with Battle of Geonosis. It
Yeah.
doesn't go with Revenge of the Sith 20. It doesn't go with anything. This is
Same
one of the
with-
rare instances where I have nothing nice to say about it.
No, just bad decision. I'm sorry.
I feel like Dengar is kind of in the same bucket. Like at least Ponda and Evazan, they're a little outdated, and Bomb Vimden, but they go with the cantina. Like it makes
And
sense
they
why
do
they
what they
repacked
need
them
to
this
do.
year.
They do. what
Yeah,
they
I
need to
think Ponda's a little frustrating, but and I think that this version of Dr. Evazan is improved on the previous version. But like Dengar, you can hold him up. And again, we went through the whole thing. I don't think should have been as dirty as the 2010 version, but he shouldn't have been as clean as this one either. And you can
Yeah.
look and compare where they left some of the deco out on
Yeah.
like some of the armor pieces and stuff. So it's a little frustrating. Him and Aura are kind of in the same
Yeah.
category for me.
Yep.
Dude, I totally agree with Caleb here. 332nd carded, single card, it would have been way better. Yes, dude.
Mhm.
Yes. I don't know. It's got to be some kind of cost balancing thing because the clone has more pieces that you got to snap together, so the assembly cost is more. I don't know. All I know is, listen, I've said it a billion times, but especially now,
people do.
considering the price increase to
Yeah.
$20, I don't want to see swivel hips in the vintage collection anymore.
Yeah.
The line has got to move on past this absolutely outdated, obsolete articulation that has no place in this line anymore.
And I'll say again, even though there's
it
like we
should
kind
have
of
been
mentioned
left
before,
behind a very long time ago.
even though
It's
there was
not acceptable anymore. It's especially at this price point.
even though there's consternation about the repacks already we've seen in the first two waves of the new year, they're all still up to modern standards. Imal is a little outdated, slightly outdated,
Yes.
but still a great figure.
It's still an all-timer. No one can convince me otherwise. So that figure. So
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, the
fine
hip-
with
the
the
hip-
older
yeah,
style ball.
I know.
hips
I'm
because
fine
they
with them
can
too.
They
Yeah.
can still do it's a little more frustrating, but they can still do
Do the
pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah.
the same posing as
Takes a little longer to
barbell
get there,
hips.
but they still get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'll say one more thing. One more that kind of bothered me was Vader from the TIE Advance. It's a great figure,
Yeah.
A+. Don't get me wrong, but
One of the best figures they've ever done.
absolutely. But they messed up the shoulder armor. They painted the shoulder armor, the shoulder
Shiny,
section
yeah.
shiny, even though the armor is covered by fabric. And they messed it up last year. I thought a repack would have been a nice way to fix that. They did not fix it. However, that saved me from buying 2 TIE Fighters to have one on the card and one to open. So actually, I'm happy with that. But when they inevitably
Same here.
re-release it in 2027 for the 50th anniversary, you got to fix those shoulders, please. Please and thank you. Hit them with a little matte spray or whatever you do. But
I'm trying to be a realist, July. Can you highlight his comment real quick? Listen, I understand Hasbro's going to repack things. I get it. All I'm asking for is stop repacking things that are just not. Look, I've said this a billion times. I'm going to say it again. Black Series has a certain standard of like expected articulation where they just all the figures kind of like, okay, we know what to expect, right? With the vintage collection, it's like a roller coaster of like amazing, like really, really good, like, you know, Dark Times Vader, one of the all-time greats, and then it's like Dr. Evazan. And then it's like, you know, Clone Trooper, absolutely incredible, and then Orsing. Like, we're like, can we like just have a baseline where like the ripples are much smaller instead of like this? Oh my God, I went downhill at like 90, a 90-degree angle, 300 miles an hour. Like that's Orsing. Awful, awful. I think I'm gonna like fall off the rails and die. That's how bad it is, right? Like, like we need to just have a certain expectation, like a baseline of what to expect in the vintage collection. There's too much disparity between the amazing TVC 2.0 articulation and then the articulation from 15 years ago. It creates an uneven line that does not feel like it has a baseline understanding of, okay, this is what you can expect with this premium collector line.
Yeah.
It's too, the variations are too wild. There's too much disparity. Just stop with the swivel hips. They're not acceptable anymore.
It's also,
They're
take a
not-
look
they're
at it
not.
like this. So sometimes they like to say like, oh, we like to repack these for like fans who don't have them, or like new fans or whatever, which like I get some credit to that or whatever. But imagine if you were like new to TVC, maybe you were like collecting Black Series or something, and now you're like into TVC, or even if you're just like straight into it and you're seeing like great figures like the Clone Trooper and some of these awesome modern nice masterpieces that we're getting, right? And you're interacting with them, and you're like, wow, these things like move well. And then like you're getting your Dr. Evans on here. You've never seen this figure because you haven't been collecting in the past. And then you open this thing up and you're like, what the fudge is wrong with this guy? Why is he like not as good as the other figures? It's just like,
And you point to
that'd
your
be
friend
so
and
frustrating.
Yeah,
point
why
to your
does the
friend when you
arms
get this
keep falling
figure.
off?
It's he doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
Yeah, I don't do either. I didn't buy this.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
like, it's a quality like nosedive.
Yeah, but photoreal chest hair.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I,
But,
uh,
again, but then the other argument is that we don't really need to spend tooling dollars on Dr.
Yeah.
Evazan or Pano necessarily. But then round and round we go again.
Yeah.
But
It's tough. We've talked about it all before. We don't need to relitigate it all, but yes,
some
I
people
do
say it's
get it.
fine. Shall we move on? So we've covered all the basic figures,
Yeah.
all the individual figures.
We got a
We've
little
kinda-
negative here, so let's get positive.
Sorry.
To
Sorry.
should we go back to multi-packs? I said there's
I
multi-packs.
didn't
I know
make
you don't have
a
pictures.
graphic for it.
Can you
but-
go back to the main checklist
yes,
image?
I think I may have put it here. Hold on. Let's see. I did have it queued up, ready to go. Yeah.
You old so-and-so.
Ah,
And so, yes, for multi-packs, what have we been looking at? We had the Battle Droid 4-pack, Snowtrooper Army Builder 4-pack, Heir to the Empire pack, Cantina Adventure set, Journey of Anakin Skywalker, Stormtroopers of the Empire, and the Jedi Spirits 3-pack. All pretty dang awesome, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like
A little different for everybody, but
like quality
you
here
say,
is
toys?
pretty decent.
what was your favorite toys?
I think the Heir of the Empire one. I think it's pretty solid.
My boy.
Yeah.
This guy gets it.
Also, like getting expanded universe stuff and just like, yeah, this was exciting.
Yeah. I'm going to guess Tyler has a similar answer, if not exact answer.
yeah.
Easy choice.
Evan, what would you
It's
pick?
just
I would-
obviously. Come on.
Between two for you, maybe, Evan?
Yeah, it's the Anakin pack and the Jedi Spirits pack are, I think, the two that stood out to me the most. I really wanted the Jedi Spirits pack, and I think the swappable Anakin heads really sent it over the edge of just being perfect of how I really wanted it.
Yeah.
To be able to have both options. The Anakin pack is just the execution, the idea of, multiple looks of a single character, and in definitive and really great format is super cool. And I think really important. So I'd like to see that continue. So I liked that a lot.
Yep.
Evan, forgive me. Did you mention how it's reminiscent of the Evolutions pack?
I did in my notes. I didn't say it, but yeah, I really
Okay.
I love the idea of evolutions packs. And it's, that thing is,
And this is similar to one of the Anakin packs from
Yeah.
20 years ago.
yeah.
I loved the Evolutions packs back in the day.
Mhm.
Absolutely loved them. Especially the Anakin pack and the Sith pack and like the Trooper pack. Like I just loved all of them. Even they made a Padme one too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
awesome. awesome,
Mandalorian
right?
ones, and
Um,
Yeah.
and so yeah, this journey of Anakin Skywalker is very reminiscent of that. I love it. I hope that they continue with other characters in that vein. You know, whether it's Obi-Wan and his Clone Wars gear or whatever.
Yeah, that would be a good
Um,
move.
yeah, I hope that they continue to look for opportunities to do stuff like that because I think it's so cool. And there's so many choices to do too. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to say agreed on all those. I think the Jedi Spirits is my favorite for sure. Just the fact that we finally got them all in the same style.
Yes.
They've been released over the years, kind of piecemeal. They didn't really match. I think they're all great figures, and yeah, the Anakin swappable head puts it over the Force for me. I don't know. I'm tired. Over the
Forest Moon of Endor for
over
you.
the forest over the Force
Yeah.
bench that Yoda sits on for some reason.
He was tired.
And I'll say thanks, Blitz, for joining in. I wanted to say, Tryman, we talked about Bib Fortuna. He's not on the list because he was not updated in any way, even the card. And there's other things that we already talked about it. Go listen to that again.
Yes.
Get excited. And then, yes, Enzelin, TVC
Yeah.
Figure of the Year. Lost in a Vacuum. I know sometimes we've counted Grogu and Enzelin as all new. We did not need to do that this year. We're so flush with riches that we didn't need to
Did he just stretch the
half-inch
numbers?
figures, centimeter-tall figures. To talk about worst, I'll say Battle Droid issues we've already talked about. I'll say the Stormtroopers of the Empire Pack was kind of frustrating for me
Yeah.
because the Snowtrooper commander is great, but the other two just they weren't quite at the level I was hoping for to be completely
Yeah.
100% amazing, definitive, perfect. They're not terrible, but yeah.
Yeah. I think the
we
easy
kinda-
answer.
Yeah.
What?
I was going to say we covered some of these already when you talked
Yeah.
about these characters individually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's just the easy answer for me is like, you could say the repainted ones, but it's definitely the battle droids, I think, is as much as I like some of the
I'll be
repaints,
honest.
so.
You want to know something funny? You want to know something really funny? So, you guys know me. I don't like wacky repaints. I also like to army build. Something interesting is I bought the wacky repaints. I did not buy a single battle droid pack. Not
Wow.
one.
Dang.
Yeah.
Not one. And it's because they cannot do a basic function that they need to be. It is 2025. The fact that my battle droids cannot hold their blaster with two hands is actually insane. That's crazy. It is 2025 and they cannot do a basic function that they have to be able to do. So no, I'm not buying those. $0 are being spent on battle droids that cannot do a basic thing.
Yeah.
You want my money, you better fix those.
I
And,
only
and
bought
when you do
4.
fix them, I'll buy a bunch of them. But I'm not
Yeah.
buying them until they're fixed. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
I
that.
bought 2 packs.
Yeah. I
Would
was
you-
at 2 packs too.
What did you think about the Snowtrooper pack? Because I know we've begged and pleaded for packs without specific characters for the army build, but then by
It
the
was
time this
great.
came out, you'd already
It was released
Yeah.
too late for you, Tyler.
Yeah,
Well,
same.
and this goes back to the trust thing, right? Like, I should have seen that coming. That's my
Yeah.
bad, right? Like
But you can't always count
in
on that.
fairness,
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
can't.
It's
You can't always
always
count on it.
hard. Like,
I remember
wanna
back when we
give
got the Clone Wars Mandalorian figures, everyone was like, "Oh, they might do like a 4-pack of that." Never did that.
Mhm. Mhm.
You can't always count on it.
Yeah.
yeah, and then you risk missing the opportunity to army build at the
Price
lowest
point.
price they're
Yeah.
ever going to be at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you wait until they come and go, and then you try to army build when they're on eBay, well, they're going to be like $5 or $10 more per figure.
Yeah.
And you can do the math on how much that's going to cost you, right? So like,
Today's price.
I want to trust and just assume that but I don't know. It's always a gamble. It is a gamble for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Shall we, since the vehicle, there was 2 vehicles, there was 2 creatures, there's 2 playsets, let's just lump them all together as world building items, if that's all right with you. We'll just talk about them all because there's 2, there's a best and a worst. So we had of course, the Streets of Mos Eisley playset, the Land Speeder, the Howler, the Bantha, Darth Vader's TIE Advance, and the Mos Eisley Cantina HasLab.
I think the HasLab's got to be in its own.
It's got to be its own category.
Yes,
But I'm just
it-
saying,
yeah, smacks the crap
still,
out of the rest.
still
Yeah.
2 play sets, 2 vehicles,
Yeah.
and 2 beasts, which was still nice to see.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I have not opened most of them due to space concerns.
Yeah.
One day I'll figure it out. So I kind of got to abstain, but I will say, as I've said before, quality of everything aside, I would appreciate some more never before made items in this category. If you're going to spend $140 on something, it would be nice to have something that doesn't just replace something on your shelf. Even though I know a lot of people wanted Vader's TIE Fighter and the Bantha looks great and stuff like that. But, I got 5 Luke's land speeders already. The new one's good. Is it that much better than the old ones? I don't think so. But it is what it is. The Howler's a lot of fun. I've opened the Howler and the land speeder, and they're both well done, but the Howler is more fun for what I'm into.
They went on
And the
sale
Howler
again.
is
And I bought a
like
couple more.
such a shock. Like that's one of those like surprises that you're like, wow, I really didn't think they'd do that, and they did.
No.
And it's like awesome.
And it came with those the legs for sitting,
Yep.
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
wild. That was so cool.
Yes.
I love the Howler. That's
So,
my-
like,
Yeah.
so
when I-
similar.
when I look at those world building items aside of like the HasLab, you like push that aside. For
Mhm.
me, the Howler just says so much quality and like thought put into it with the alternate legs, so it actually sit in that like dog pose. The tail could like rotate the other way, so it looked like its tail was also kind of wagging in that sit position. It's like fully articulated. It's sculpted really well. Did not think we were getting that. Like, it's a crucial piece to like our Ahsoka like world building.
Yes.
And I wanted it, and I was like,
they're used
never,
a lot in the show.
they're
Like,
never gonna
more than
do
I
this
think.
fantasy wolf dog thing. Like, that's
Yeah.
so like, no, it's not gonna happen. TV's never getting that. And then we did. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
I will say, like, I agree with you, John. Like, I was like, another Vader's TIE Fighter. I like have one that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And I'm usually not kind of like that person.
Yeah.
But that TIE Fighter was actually really nice. When you like
Okay.
open it and you like are actually
I'm
like
sure.
holding this thing, you're like, this is actually pretty good.
John's like, I'm sure I'll open it in 3 years.
In 3 years, I'll find out by the 50th, maybe.
and toys, I feel similarly, about the land speeder, where it was just like, I loved the land speeder that we already had.
Mm-hmm.
But this new one, like, did it need to be all new? Did I need to see the money spent on that? No, really, honestly, I didn't need it.
Yeah.
But since we have it, since they made
Yeah.
it, it's a thing. I can't, you can't put that back. It's really nice. So
It is.
I
It
do
is.
like it.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
deny that the quality
with the
is
Bantha.
amazing on these items, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Same
like
with
I would also like the other lane speeders that are at Mos Eisley. I would like the ball speeder. I would like the Jerba outside. And maybe that's just me, and I know the Bantha is going to sell more than a freaking Jerba that nobody even knows what that is. But still,
But why
you know.
why a bantha, not a dewback? But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sure, we'll get that soon enough.
yeah.
So I'm going to go with, I put it on here, the biggest surprise of the year.
Mhm.
If you guys have some of those. I know, Tyler, something we're already kind of talking about. I see you have on your list. You're just,
Yeah.
It's the Howler. I mean,
Yeah, the Howler's
Oh,
your
I'm
surprise.
sorry. Hold on. What did I? Let's see.
maybe that was for, I kind of messed up the thing.
Yeah,
Was that your biggest surprise of the year? I think it's probably got to be the Alien Panic again, right?
No, I think my biggest surprise of the year was, once again, this. Well, I mean, it's hard to say because we technically saw this in 2024, right?
Yeah.
So
Still.
I guess if you put that aside, it would probably be the Howler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even know if I have an answer for this, but if you guys had, Toys, I see you have one on here.
Yeah, for me, I put the gunship.
Yep.
One, wasn't expecting that. And the success of the gunship, which, at times seemed a little rough, but I think as a community, we all really banded together when it comes to these HasLabs, and we did a great job, and we made it happen. And we also got Coleman, which was awesome. But just the fact that we even got the gunship, because I was not on the radar, Like, it had been spoken of, like, people have said, like, oh, we wanted a better in-scale gunship. That was an idea, but I just never actually thought we were gonna like get to it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think I have an answer for this one. I was looking at
What
it.
is
And
it?
it's hard
Yeah,
to think of. Carson Teva, I think, is the big surprise for
Good
me. I did not
call.
expect that figure.
Yes.
and they executed so well, and there was so much. It's an all new figure, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it
Yep.
is. Yeah.
That's wild. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a
Good
huge
shout.
surprise for me.
Yeah.
I that's one I didn't expect. Where I wanted to say like Ventress, but it's like, well, she's a main, and that's
Yeah.
she's inevitable. Marin was a surprise.
Marin was another good one too. Yeah.
Indaro was another pleasant surprise. Crosshair was a surprise. I thought they'd forgotten about the Bad Batch. I still
could
think
they?
keep
We never
forgetting
shut up
about
about 'em.
it. But yeah, there's still 4 more characters to go. But Carson
Or
Taylor,
say.
yeah.
Biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, maybe.
Biggest surprise is
But,
RC.
Yeah.
I would agree on
biggest
all
thing
those.
that
I'd
pissed me
say
off this year.
Yeah.
Crosshair, even though we all expected him, it's like, you know, we still were begging for Bad Batch. We still are, but it was nice to see at least one checked off the list. Yeah. What about biggest back into the negative, but biggest missed opportunity? I have an answer, which would be
I think I share your answer.
yes,
Sean.
C-3PO for Return to Tatooine. Even though I just said I want new stuff, but like we were so close. They made all the A New Hope mains, and you know some of the villains over the past 2 years. But C-3PO is just missing, and are they waiting for VC 375 for him?
That's
Are they
what I was-
waiting until VAC metal can be as easily done as regular paint? I don't know what's going on, but that feels like similar to how like in 2023 after the indoor stuff, it's like we needed a commando and an Ewok to go with the bunker. We needed 3PO to go with the cantina, even though I guess maybe Wooher got in charge of the line and said we don't serve his kind here, but
Well, if I may piggyback off
Yes,
of that
please,
answer,
yeah.
I hard agree on C-3PO being a missed opportunity. You know, Return to Tatooine, he goes with that. The Land Speeder goes with that. The Streets of Mos Eisley goes with that. He goes with the OT mains. Variations of him are applicable. If they made that super sculpt, there's tons of variations for it. Applicable for Revenge of the Sith 20, The Force Awakens 10th anniversary, the upcoming Battle of Geonosis, even the Clone Wars, other protocol droid repaints and stuff. Another thing they could have done with Hoth is whatever the
Yep.
white protocol
K3PO.
droids. Yeah, K3PO. It just is so weird. And he goes with Jabba's palace, all the Jabba stuff that we have.
Mhm.
Like, that's so weird. That was like the time to do it.
I think they were going to repack the old one.
I was
and there was
just
so
gonna say that.
much community.
Maybe, yeah.
They gave us
backlash
Aura
that they
Sting
were-
instead.
Well, I think they were like, ooh, we better not do that because the community is gonna flip out. So
Good, because that figure's garbage,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
Caleb's
E3PO.
comment. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's on the box. The C-3PO's on the Landspeeder box, and they really
Yep.
made a point to be like, "We're not. It's not. You know, that's an old one. It's an old one. Don't get upset, people."
We updated this Land Speeder so that C-3PO can sit in it, but we didn't make a 3PO to sit in it. It's almost
So-
like, we made an E-Wing, but we didn't make the
I'm-
Oh, wait, we did. Never mind.
I'm trusting that they have heard us.
I'm
and
sure.
he's
Yes, it's just still within the year of Return to Tatooine would have been nice. My other biggest missed opportunity too, but 1.5 and/or season 2, I would have liked to see anything other than just Man Legs Dedra. I guess we got a K2SO repack. That's something, right? And then I would have said Revenge of the Sith 20, which we kind of missed the boat on the actual 20th anniversary. But in the year, at least, thank God, they had the good sense to reveal Obi-Wan and the Airborne Trooper before the year was out.
And we kind of got sort of got, Anakin and stuff.
Yes,
So
yes.
the things exist. So the basis exists for them to now make
Yes.
some of these things. that
And
we
they're
want.
not. I thought they were afraid of prequel cards and stuff, but the fact that we're going so hard now on Attack of the Clones, and at least dipping our toes in Revenge of the Sith for the first time since 2019, which is insane.
Yeah.
If any other movie went that long, at least of the original 6, people would flip out. But
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
Tyler,
Tyler, you
I know
have a
you
good
have one.
shout for missed opportunity.
Yeah. So since we're talking about Revenge of the Sith, I've been extremely vocal about how unhappy I was this year that Revenge of the Sith was basically completely skipped and not acknowledged in Vintage Collection. And again, even worse than that, they put out things, that could have celebrated it, and they deliberately chose not to, which I think was just the strangest thing. But
Yeah.
I've said my piece on that, and I believe that they've more than heard us on this, as evidenced by this episode 3 beautiful Obi-Wan that we're getting soon, and the equally beautiful Airborne Trooper. So while that anniversary came and went, I think that they are rectifying it, and they've heard us, I think we should trust and have faith that you know, they I think they acknowledged that that was a goof,
Yeah.
to put it mildly. But that aside, because again, I think that they've heard us on that. My biggest thing was the Imperial Praetorian to go with Gideon. Okay, they put out Dark Trooper Gideon. They put out the Commando. We have IG-12. We have the Shriek-Hawk Mandalorians. We have Paz Vizsla. We have Bo-Katan. We have all
have
these
Din.
things.
Armor with a
Din.
jetpack.
Like
Yeah.
we have everything from the climactic ending of The Mandalorian season 3, except these Praetorians, which I believe they killed Paz Vizsla, one of the biggest badasses in the entire show, one of the coolest characters, right? Who had this like really cool redemption arc from being like a jerk and trying to like
Yeah.
take the dark saber, to having his kid get kidnapped, to being like, you know, Din Djarin's #1 supporter, like I'm there for you, bro. Had an amazing character arc, and then got killed by these Praetorians, right? We don't have the Praetorians. We must have those figures. Must.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to shut up about them until we get them.
Yeah.
I think that was a big missed opportunity to put them in the same wave with Gideon. You know, I think that would have been nice, really nice. And they're missing, you know, there were some rumors that maybe they might be coming, and they just whoop, disappeared. I want to put them back on the radar. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to shut up about them. I'm not. I'm going to be insufferable about them until we get them. I promise. I promise.
Well, would you rather have a
So-
Praetorian or a crappy Ponda Bubble repaint?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that answer's pretty easy. But
All right, repaint it is.
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, community, help me be loud for those if you want them to. But
Mhm.
it can't just be me making that fight for myself. So
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, of course, Andor season 2. I don't think that they realized what a hit that was going to be, and I think that they're like kind of listening to these like people here and there in the community that are like, Andor's not toyetic, and I'm just like, what are you talking about, bro? What? You do not speak for me. You do not speak for me. There is plenty of stuff from that show that I want. Luthen Rail, one last figure standing. There's a billion different Imperials that they can make that are super cool. The tactical officer,
Yeah.
those riot troopers in all black. Like, what do you mean it's not a toyetic show? What are you talking about? Hasbro, stop listening to these people. They're wrong. They're dead wrong. Anyway, big missed opportunity. I hope
Yeah.
that they take a hint that we do want Andor stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I've said
Yeah.
my piece.
Toys of
did
the
you
way?
have An
Okay.
answer for this? Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much all the same things that you guys are saying. The lack of Revenge of the Sith, that was definitely probably the biggest blunder of 2025. And just TVC in general. Like, we had already
Yeah.
previously been telling them, like, hey, we would love to be in anniversaries. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, it'd be cool if we got like a figure too. It was like,
Yeah.
Seriously.
Tie
pick
Avenger, of
rocks,
course.
nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So John, I see the other category.
I had an idea about techniques and expressions and ideas.
Yeah.
I think we'll skip it. We already talked about it, right? Do you want to talk about
Well,
it?
I just want to throw it out there. Just two. I'm going to be real fast about it. The things I like: the evolution style set, and going back to the thing that they did on Spirit Anakin with the swappable necklines. I think are two things I'd like to see them explore more. That's my piece.
Yeah, that was super cool. Super cool.
Yes. I'll just say, so let's just say, move ahead. What are you looking forward to next year? We're already at 3 hours. I'm looking forward to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
Love you guys, but my eyes are burning.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you
Toys?
looking forward to? Yeah. Toys, what about you?
Looking forward to my lat and definitely seeing how we build out this Geonosis battle. Because so far it's seeming like it's going to be pretty decent. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah. Tyler?
I agree. I can't put it better than that. So I will just echo exactly what Tours of the Way just said.
Sweet.
Yep.
John?
Yeah, hoping for more surprises like Pogle. I truly did not expect to see him.
That's
So
wild.
I would
That's
love
wild.
more fun surprises like that.
Yeah, I would say the heir to the Empire pack. I would like to see them continue to honor the expanded universe and keep putting out. I get it. It's not going to take up a big chunk of the line. I understand that, but the expanded universe does hold a special place in my heart and in many people's hearts. Mara J did win the fifth March Madness, so there's clear demand there and clear interest for continuing that thread. It doesn't have to take up 25% of the line or anything, but
Sure.
keep feeding that interest, because it is there, Hasbro.
Yes.
And keep giving us wonderful beasts. We got two
Yeah.
beasts this year, the Howler and the Bantha. Super
Yeah.
cool.
It's fun to see them come
I'm
back.
looking forward to seeing what beasts they might do to support the Battle of Geonosis.
Yep.
Hopefully the Ore, and
Yep.
also maybe the what's the cat one?
The Nexu.
Nexu.
The Nexu, maybe the Nexu with a retooled Padme. I mean, who knows? The potential is exciting. So we'll see. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at a lot of great answers. I'll say Tanith, and I'll echo this one because I don't have one right now. I'm looking forward to at least one new, never before made thing from Geonosis.
Ore.
Or whether it's the
Yes.
Ore, whether it's Runehako, Tix, Sarlabuda, take your pick. I want one. I agree. I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah.
Of course, I see a lot of people. Cantina 4-pack, 375. Yeah, we got a movie for the first time in
Yeah.
6.5 years.
I would like to see us get at least most of the characters on the poster.
Yes. A Stranger, finally, yes.
Yep. Stranger's going to be
Prequel
awesome.
Jedi, finally.
Yep.
Evan, I know you have your.
Yep.
What are you looking
Kenobi. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that. Despite the legs, still pretty excited.
To harken back to the movie, like I hope they actually have stuff around when the movie's out.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how they're planning that right now behind the scenes or whatever the heck, but it would be nice to actually have some like product that I can go
On
get right after this
shelves.
movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I'll
These-
never forget leaving and going to a Target after Rise of Skywalker and little kid and their dad just being excited, and there's nothing
Like-
for them to buy.
Merchandise
Sad.
in a Star Wars movie go hand in hand. So
Yes.
Hasbro, I hope you have not been
I need
sitting
my-
on your hands and been working to get some stuff out there for us.
Yeah.
I
In
need my
TVC.
Jax.
I will say though, we got to always say, Hasbro has stated multiple times that is their intent and that is their
Yeah.
desire, is to put out product when the media airs. They understand this. They understand that the fans want this. It's Lucasfilm, unfortunately, that is the problem in this
Well,
equation.
it's John
because of
Favreau in
their
this
secrecy
equation.
problem.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
we've talked
the
about
se-
it
the
before. where
secrecy is
depends
well,
on
it's worth mentioning again, because
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
give Hasbro so much flack and they're like, Hasbro, why do you take 2 years to make it's there's reasons for these things. It's not because they
Yeah.
want to take 2 or 3 years to put these things out.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, for
So
sure.
we do have to repeatedly clarify that, because we continue to see the same comments about it. So
Well, give me Zeb at least, because you saw him a while ago. So there's no excuse to not give me that Zeb.
Yeah.
True. And I will say, I know Mando and Grogu is sort of the big event next year, but me personally, I'm looking forward to Ahsoka season 2 more than anything else. And so I'm really hoping that they're planning on, they did a great job supporting Ahsoka season 1. There are still things that we need. I don't have to list those things right now. We've done it many times.
Croc.
But I am, Marok, the Great Mothers, Peridia Ezra, these are some big ones. But I'm hoping that they will support Ahsoka season 2 just as well, because man, I loved that show. I loved season 1. I think season 2 is going to be even better. So
Heck yeah.
Agreed.
Heck yeah. Well, I forgot I made this just looking ahead to 2026.
Nice.
Just that's quite a bit that we know of.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that's fun. Pretty hype.
Some goodness coming.
great looking year already.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, shall we sprint to the finish line?
Think so.
All
Do
right.
it.
Cool. Well, let's see. It's December 12th at the time of recording this. Don't forget, that means January is really soon. And what happens in January? Oh boy,
man.
TVC March Madness. It's back.
Yeah, guys, 2
it's-
weeks away.
A few weeks away.
Yeah,
Wild.
before list submissions open up.
yes.
And
So-
I always say this. You want to have your list ready to go from the get-go, because if you're posting in those comments and you're posting up your images of what you want, you might make somebody else think, oh, I forgot about that character. I'm going to put him on my list. You can influence people with your choices. I'm telling you, it happens every year. People are like, oh, I got to redo my list because I forgot about that character. So the sooner you put in your choices, the more of a chance that that character is going to make it onto the bracket. That's just how these things work. So,
Yeah.
but of course, if something gets revealed during January, then we'll bump it off and, adjust accordingly, or even February. So,
yeah, it snuck up on me fast enough that I didn't get a chance to make a fun new logo for 2026 yet. So
you made so many good graphics for the stream.
Oh, thank you.
Let it slide.
I got to get going on that. On making
Coming
a logo for
soon.
26.
Coming
We'll
soon.
see. So yes, TVC March Madness. The top 25 submissions beginning of January. That is so soon. Get those lists in order. Like what Tyler was saying, be prepared. And then from there, it's just nonstop.
Yep.
Oh,
it's gonna be January before we know it, guys. Seriously,
Yeah.
so.
And
we'll have another great stream, talking about our choices and going over the rules again, all that stuff. So
Yes. If you're rusty on the rules 6 years in, don't worry, we got you. We'll repeat them again. It's fine. All right. So let's wind this down a little bit. Just real quick, speed round around the room. John, you doing anything fun? Where can people find you on socials?
Me at the Vintage Concepts on Instagram. Like I said, I'm working my way through some Force Awakens 10th anniversary cards right now. Something fun to do before I get into the spreadsheet staring contest that I do every January and February for March Madness. So yeah, check that out.
Heck yeah. Tyler?
people know where to find me. I don't care. But what I do want to say, I do my best to try to monitor as many sites and pages as I can. It's a lot of places, but I do want to say to Hasbro directly again, I genuinely, despite any criticisms or any nitpickings that we might have said during this entire stream, 2025 was an extremely strong year, genuinely worthy of praise. I think most people would agree that this was the best year of TVC 2.0. And you know, the future looks bright and exciting again, despite the loss of Emily on the team. You know, just keep it up. You guys are doing a great job. The line is improving measurably. We can see it. It's not lost on us. I know, you know, there's always things that we complain about. I get it. You know, we're never satisfied. We never seem like we're happy, but you do have to pause, guys, and just look at your collections sometimes and just have gratitude and be thankful for the stuff that we are getting. And, you know, just marvel at the upgrades in these critical characters, you know, the Anakins, the Jangos, the Lukes, the Hans, the Bens, like all of these characters that have been in dire need of updates for so long. And Hasbro is just, they're killing it, man. So 2025 was a great year. And I look forward to the future. So Hasbro, you should be proud of the year, but no more swivel hips, please. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
Agreed.
Awesome. Well, toys are the
Definitely
way.
agreed.
I know you just passed a milestone on your channel, and you did a fun live stream for that.
I did. Yeah, I mean, that was a good time. Thanks for hanging out, Evan. I know you were in the chat. That was great to see. A lot of people here too were hanging out. Looking forward to doing some more of those as we go into the new year. But yeah, I feel like everyone knows where to find me. Toys of the Way on Instagram and YouTube. I'm there doing my thing, supporting 375 and the vintage collection.
Heck yeah. Well, we appreciate all you do, man. I love your photography. I'm always excited when a post of yours comes across my feed. So
Thanks, man.
all right. Well, there's still some folks hanging in there. What are you doing? It's been over 3 hours.
Thank you all for joining us on your
first
Friday
live
evening. And
thank you for watching the replay in the future.
Yes, for those of you to be watching this in the coming days, thanks for giving us your watch time. Thank you for all the thumbs up. We appreciate you. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everything. And thanks to the Hasbro team for, acknowledging what the community is asking for, listening very intently, being very involved. I've said it already several times in the stream, but we are in very good hands, and the future looks bright. And I'm feeling very optimistic about the vintage collection.
Yep.
So,
Kingdom of Great says better quality than ever before.
yes.
True that.
Thank you.
Oh, you guys,
Evan, you gotta post your Looney Tunics
Yes,
at some point.
I'll post Looney Tunics. So I'm going to clean up some of these graphics. I don't know if I'll do that tonight, but clean some of those up so that we can get those posted soon. I'll get that checklist. We can post the checklist tomorrow. That's what we can do. Post that on Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah. So, again, gratitude to you guys. Thank you so much for doing this. Another year in the books. Tyler, everything you said and all the, positivity, the happy beeps. It's good. We're seeing some progress. It's great. Yes. So subscribe, follow us at SWTVC here on YouTube, at SWTVC on Instagram. That's our main home where you'll find all of our fun graphics and updates and news, and the home of TVC March Madness. Make sure you are following Toys Are the Way at Toys Are the Way here on YouTube as well. And same on Instagram. Shocker. Appreciate all that everybody does here. Appreciate you guys watching, as Tyler said. Again, get your top 25 lists ready. It's happening. And I hope everybody has a really nice holiday season. I totally forgot the holidays were coming up. I almost forgot to mention. Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
So I hope people are doing fun stuff. Travel safe. I hope people get cool toys or give cool toys. Toys for Tots is happening, Tyler.
Super important. Yes. Time is running out to donate to Toys for Tots. A lot of campaigns are wrapping up their annual campaigns, and they're taking those boxes and starting to distribute them. So make sure, if you intend to donate, make it quick because you're running out of time. I always forget that they start in October or November. They start way in advance, and I always forget until it's December and Christmas time, and that's actually at the end of the campaign. But anyway, if you want to donate, we have a link. If you just want to send some money to Toys for Tots, that's fine. We also encourage you to give TVC or 3.75-inch figures and take a video or take pictures of you donating to the box, and we'll repost it to encourage more donations. And also, like Evan said, enjoy the holidays with your families. Put the phone down, even though it's going to hurt our engagement. Put the phone down. Spend time with your
our
families,
post first, and then do that.
Comment, subscribe, and then do that.
Right.
Sweet.
Love you
All
guys.
right.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. And if you're catching this on the replay, any of these favorites, any of the discussions that we had today, feel free to still comment, jump in, let us know what your favorites of 2025 were. I would ask, let us know your least favorites, but social media is all about let us know your least favorites. Let's talk about favorite stuff you like. Yeah. So let's do that.
Don't forget to praise. Be a balance of criticism and praise, but don't forget the praise part. There's plenty of things to praise too. Okay. So
like Pogle.
Yeah. Again,
yes, like Pogle.
Wild. Hit us with the parting
clack one more time. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Something I went a little too far with it, but
outstanding.
All right. Let's wrap this up now. Just while we got the momentum going, we're still alive. Everybody, thank you again. As always, back TVC, keep 375 alive, all of the fun hashtags, whatever. And most importantly, may the force be with you. We'll see you guys next time.